But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1.
Self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest. Into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday night, which is one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. What are those things we're not allowed to talk about, you may wonder? Well, let me sum up because there's way too much to explain. Those things are the things you're not allowed to talk about around the water cooler. Things that may get you fired or at least looked at very, very funny like. Those things would be aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And as usual, right, as always, we're doing this live to include you because, of course, I always say this, and this is the truth. Case in point, last night, getting bailed out by my good friends in the chat and on the phone lines and on Discord, just bailing me out on a nightly basis, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But the secret weapon of troubled minds is you, and the entire reason for this show is to have a conversation. I could talk, and I do. Because it is a talk show after all, but it's more interesting to hear what you have in mind about these things that I'm bringing up. Trying to have compelling conversations about all kinds of wacky stuff. And again, as you know, this we can take this anywhere you want to take it as we go. We like to call this non-linear, open-ended conversation, and your interpretation is better than mine, and that's just the way this is. So if you want to be part of the show tonight at any point, just pick up the phone, dial the phone number at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. You can talk to me. You can talk to whoever might be listening, all the amazing folks out there. We got people listening all over the world to this show now, which is incredible to even think about. But that's what's up. That's what's on my mind tonight as we begin. And that's it. Let's see. What do we got? What else do we got? Let's go back to the thing. I did this. I did that. All right. 702-957-1037 is the phone number. You can also join the Discord at troubledminds.org. Discord is a chat client. It's a voice client, and it's completely free. So if you have a internet connection. That's all you need instead of that 702 area code, which is from Las Vegas, of course. So the thing is that with Discord, unfortunately, like I said, we're not sponsored by them. I've been talking about them quite a bit in the past, and talking to just whoever on Discord, because it's an amazing program that's bringing people together. But they're starting this censorship game because it's a long story. It's depressing, and I don't want to get into that. But so for now, we're going to be on Discord. But if they continue doing the draconian stuff and just smacking down, banning users and banning chat rooms, I'm not interested anymore. So we'll see. So for the time being, we're going to roll with Discord. You can find the direct invite link at troubledminds.org. That's the official website of Troubled Minds. And of course, you can find the phone number there as well. It's right on top. Absolutely cannot miss it. And there you go. All right. So what do we got? We got that. We got that. That's covered. That's covered. We're streaming. We're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, watching all the chat in all the places, trying to keep up with you guys and your amazing thoughts because, again, that's what this is about. It's about sharing ideas. And so I'm reading it as we go. And let's see, what else do we got? There's that. Then we also got, we're streaming. I said we're streaming, but we're actually broadcasting live on digital radio. That would be the Fringe FM. And you can join that Discord as well at fringe.fm/chat. And, of course, download the Fringe app at iTunes or your Android app store for completely free. It's the easiest way to listen to Troubled Minds and, of course, the other great programming on Fringe, and you can find that almost 24 hours a day. So just smash the play button at 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Thursday. You get little old me, and, of course, you and all the amazing folks that call in and contribute to this show. All right, so this is where we begin today. Now, last night we were a little rocky to start because it hadn't really baked into my brain yet, but we got a doozy for you tonight. And this one's baked in well and good, let's say. And, well, the idea is this as we begin, okay? They're starting to say that neural networks are capable of dreaming. And then, of course, neural networks are just a basic computer emulation of the human brain. Okay, they're trying to somehow create like part of this machine learning, part of this artificial intelligence, part of what the next step of this idea as we march inexorably toward the singularity. The idea becomes that you want these computers to be fashioned after human brains so that they can actually some way, somehow emulate human thought patterns. Okay, and human problem solving and things like this, which seems fine, right? It seems fine until, well, what if for very much like the human brain, when we sleep and when we rest, our brain goes through that reset period, that REM sleep, that idea that we basically are just, when we sleep, it's just like a hard boot. It's like a fresh, clean boot on a computer. So we wake up the next day with a sufficient rest and less fog on the brain, right? Because, of course, without sleep, I guess you would die, right? But androids, that's not the case, is it? So when we're talking about neural networks and kind of plugging them into androids, I guess that's the best way to put it, right? Maybe the transhumanistic thing, we can get into that a little bit tonight as well. But the androids themselves, of course, they don't have to dream. They can just plug right into the wall or whatever and charge, and then they can replace the battery pack, whatever it is, and then as a result, they can become sleepless. But of course, when they're in that charging mode, let's call it sleeping, like sleeping for an android, because they're kind of inactive and they're just charging the batteries or whatnot. Is there some sort of maybe maintenance that's happening inside of their android digital brain? And that's what's on my mind tonight, because when you start to say that neural networks can dream, well, I've got some terrifying stuff for you tonight. That's what's going on tonight. Okay, so the questions are as we begin. All right, back to the format. Now that I got it locked into my brain before we start, is this. The question tonight is, if androids dream, first off, can androids dream? All right, and again, this is hypothetical because we don't have androids walking around yet. All right, yet, but when they are, do you think they'll be able to dream as part of that neural network that's being created as a way to emulate the human brain? And of course, that would be that maintenance that I'm talking about, the sleep, the reset, whatever it is. As you know, if you guys use computers often, or your smartphones, or an iPad, or things like this, tablets, whatever it is, it just kind of degrades over time until you give it that fresh reboot, right? You got to shut it down, start it up, because you get software memory leaks, software hog and stuff. It just needs a clean reboot, all right? And so the question becomes then, if during this reboot process, is there something that will allow their neural networks of androids to dream? And so that's the question. The first question tonight is, can androids actually dream? Do you think this is possible? The second question is, of course, what do you think android dreams may look like? Now, infamously, Philip K. Dick asked the question in a story he wrote that was became Blade Runner, and the original title of this story was "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" Okay, and so there we go. That's the concept tonight. The idea of, if androids do dream, what exactly might those dreams look like? And we've got some ideas here. We'll plug it in, and you can probably see in the background here of the clown world going on. This is one idea of a neural network coming up with computer dreams. All right, here we go. Let's start here. Let's start with futurism.com. Again, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Let's begin here. All right, this is this is from futurism.com, and the headline is this: "We will never sleep again after seeing a neural network generate infinite nightmare clowns." Neural networks are suspiciously good at creating horrifying art ripped straight from the pages of a Lovecraft novel. Case in point, this downright frightening video from the YouTube channel Artificial Nightmares, showcasing clown-inspired terror, fuel generated by a neural network. Oh boy. Watch it only if you don't mind staying up tonight, and there you go. And every other night for the rest of your life, it says. And as you see, you can see it. That's actually the background of the show tonight. If you guys are watching on the stream, I'll put it up so you can see this neural nightmare. The video here is a good showcase of these surreal images that neural networks can dream up as they try to approximate real-life images, like clowns that they've been trained on. According to the description of the video, the images were generated using 3 machine learning algorithms: VGQAN, CLIP, and Rife Real Escran. Again, you can find all this stuff in the articles. All my sources are always linked down below. You can check it out. The result: a bunch of vampiric ghoul clowns a la Pennywise from Stephen King's It. Yes, reality-bending Lovecraft clowns aside, it's striking how sophisticated neural networks have gotten over the years. It's even more interesting that many of these networks can manage to generate horrifying images using everything from Simpsons characters to BuzzFeed headlines to porn. How about that? How about a bizarre pornographic android dream? We've talked about tentacle porn before, and sort of in jest, as we kind of chuckle at these things. But, well, who knows what kind of actual android dreams may be concocted as part of all this. So I don't know. As usual, right? So you tell me. So the first question tonight is exactly that. What can androids dream? Do you think this is going to be possible? It's sort of part of their maintenance, part of their reset, part of recharging the batteries, whatever this happens to be. Are they going to be able to somehow tap into a dream state, like a dreamscape, sort of a maintenance mode where they can distort reality, maybe to tickle the android brain or what have you? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what benefit it may have. But of course, if we're talking about kind of replicating the human brain in terms of a neural network, then you would expect that some of these things may be possibly even pressed to, be exactly human. And so that's the question. That's what's on my mind tonight. If you guys have heard of this, fantastic. If you haven't, even more fantastic, because, Cthulhu clowns and android dreams. So, okay, that's what we're doing tonight. And there's more to this, of course, as we go. And, so that's the idea. And then, of course, you got to think in terms of not just the androids, but what about the dream state? Like we've talked about this idea of, we were talking about this a little bit last night, actually, in the sort of the after party of of Troubled Minds. If you guys were hanging out in the Discord, sometimes we do that from time to time. Hop in and come say hi if you haven't joined the Discord yet. But we were talking about this a little bit last night, in that if you dream and you dream somebody else is in the dream, well, do they actually see you in the dream? We were talking about it last night on the show as well, regarding the idea of these maybe a tree, right? We were talking about how these maybe mycelium networks of not just trees and forests, but also like the underground root systems and kind of fungal systems of these forests. Well, if they dream, if they're conscious somehow and they do dream, and you dream of a tree, does that tree see you in its dream? And do trees even dream at all? So I don't know. As you see, this is we call this drinking the maybe juice, and what that means is just as Aristotle said. I'll butcher this, but it sums up as something like this: drinking the maybe juice equals to consider a thought with the mark of an educated mind. See, educated mind. The mark of an educated mind is to consider a thought without accepting it, and that's what we do on this show. So I don't know regarding android dreams. What would they dream about? Philip K. Dick in the story that again was became Blade Runner. Many of you have seen that movie, the old '80s classic with Harrison Ford. Is that they had these things called replicants, and the replicants, of course, were so. They were androids, but they were so very close to humans that they had an individual, Harrison Ford, starring in this movie, of course, that was paid to track down these replicants because they couldn't tell if they were human or not. And he was an expert at this. And so the question is, regarding that, if we get to the point where these neural networks can very closely mirror the processing power and the thought processes of human beings, then, well, it stands to reason that maybe dreams will follow suit. And there you go. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. And now, where do I get this? So now we got the clowns, right? We got the clowns and these neural network dreams. Well, what about this? Let's go to futurism again, and this is from last year, and let's see, the date on this one is October 9th, 21, and wouldn't you know it, neural network is frighteningly good at drawing Cthulhu. We're going to mix. Why not? Let's mix some Philip K. Dick and some H.P. Lovecraft while we're at it, and make the most terrifying android dream you could ever imagine. Well, here we go. Do you dare to gaze upon the AI-generated eldritch horror? And this is straight from the article. AI-generated images can result in some pretty fantastic creations, but who knew it could create frighteningly uncanny pictures of cosmic horrors? Users on the subreddit Media Synthesis, a community dedicated to synthetic images and art, have been posting a series of Cthulhu and other cosmic demons that were created using AI. Uh-oh. And here you go. Here's some examples. You guys check it out in the links in the description below. It says many of the images were created using Night Cafe, an algorithm that allows you to turn words into AI-generated art. More specifically, the platform leverages a text-to-image art creation algorithm known as VQGAN plus clip that allows you to transform normal words into surreal images. And here you go. Maybe this is sort of like, in the internet terms, if you're looking at people's, like kind of maybe from Google, right? Like we talk about Google in terms of being like a gigantic chunk of spyware, right? Where it can track your IP address and with cookies and across, different browsers or different websites. It's following you. It's kind of looking into your dirty laundry of your search engine history, right? Well, imagine if this is the case of being able to look into, I don't know, maybe the dirty laundry dream state of an actual android. And if you look at this, many of the images, of course, I'm going to do this a little bit later. We'll pull up this Night Cafe. It's nightcafe.studio if you want to check it out. Night, just like it sounds, NIGHTCAFE.studio. And you can type in some words and it will crank you out a terrifying photograph. So I'm going to type in Troubled Minds a little bit later and we'll see what happens as we go. So remind me to do that and we'll definitely do that. And then find out and get a live reaction from Michael Strange. Maybe I'll run out of the room screaming, actually in abject horror because I can't do anything else. So anyway, still it begs the question, why does AI create such good images of Cthulhu? Well, it makes sense when you think about it. The article says, Lovecraftian monsters are typified by inconceivable colors, surreal images, and non-Euclidean shapes. It would make sense that AI and neural networks, which typically comes up with some very trippy images, can create something close to that. And of course, if you want to try it out for yourselves, with that we present you the Futurism original AI art Cthulhu Trick or Treating, and there you go. Check it out, and you guys can again, links are in the description below, and you can check this stuff out. It says starting price for the NFT is $1 million. That's how it works, right? Okay, all right. So this is where I began, and I was like, okay, this is too good. We can't pass up AI dreaming of Cthulhu clowns, all right? You just can't pass this up. So it was too good. It was too compelling, too interesting. And then I started thinking in terms of, okay, not just AI-generated art, all right, but this idea that these neural networks that they're going to put into these androids actually can become dream states themselves. And then, of course, right, there's all kinds of implications here. What happens when we have a dream guide? You ever heard of the term dream walking? Yeah, dream walking, right? When you're actually in somebody else's dream. You heard of this term? All right. So what happens if you're dream walking with androids and you find their Cthulhu clown? You tell me. So looking into this, and so a few other things tonight as we're considering this. So why do you think in particular clowns, the imagery of a clown, is so terrifying? I mean, again, you look at the background here and sort of this AI generated bizarre clown dream state that's just something of a nightmare, right? But how come? Why do you think there's a psychological component that makes people afraid of clowns? The images of clowns, people paint it up. You tell me. And so let's add that to the conversation tonight. Are you afraid of clowns? Do you get that sort of weird feeling, that shudder up your spine when you see Bozo the Clown on TV or something else? Of course, Bozo the Clown's probably dating me, and now you know how old I really am. But the question becomes, does the imagery of a clown make you uneasy? And if so, why do you think that is? Or why do you think it actually does that to other people? I think maybe that's probably a more apt question here, because of course not everybody's going to be irritated by the image of clowns. Some people are scared of spiders, some people are scared of clowns, some people are scared of heights, all the rest of this, right? Sort of that guttural response to whatever imagery is kind of put in front of you, and everybody's going to be a little bit different. But why do you think people are afraid of clowns? Why do you think the imagery of this nightmare clown, that Pennywise from It, this sort of thing, actually becomes the stuff of nightmares? So we'll add that to the question tonight. And so as we begin, that's how we begin. And so do you think, in the end, or in the beginning, or somewhere in between, that androids actually dream? And if they dream, do you think they dream of Cthulhu clowns? Inquiring minds want to know. 702-957-1037. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Also, click the Discord at troubledminds.org, and you can be on the show that way as well. Watching all the amazing chat out there. What's up? A quick couple shout-outs to our friends Laura Jean and S Magician over there on the Fringe. How are you guys doing? And we're just hanging out. Why not? Hey, look, if anybody's going to talk about Cthulhu clowns, it may as well be us. So that's the question tonight. That's what's on my mind. And it makes me wonder a few things. Number one, why are people afraid of clowns? Are you afraid of clowns? Number two, if androids can indeed dream, hypothetically speaking, one, can they dream? And number two, what do you think they would actually dream about? Just another Wednesday night on Troubled Minds, considering horrifying things, digital nightmare dreamscapes, neural networks, and all the rest. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. What are your thoughts? Are you afraid of clowns? Can androids dream? What about dreaming of Cthulhu clowns in a digital dream space? One more time, 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More dream walking with androids and Cthulhu clowns and your calls when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter. And we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. Tonight, we're taking your phone calls, as always. But the discussion is this. Do you think androids can dream? And if they can, what exactly do you think through their neural networks they're capable of dreaming of? Let's throw in Cthulhu clowns. Why also do you think people are so, let's say, horrified by clowns and clown imagery? There you go. Just some simple Wednesday night, easy listening conversation for for Troubled Minds. Just a random Wednesday here, talking about amazing stuff. So I think that's part of this too. And so when I first saw this clown stuff, I was like, oh no, clown world, right? Not just clown world. It's like clown world to the extreme, to the point where you're just, it is sort of like people in the chat are saying that during the break, is that, you know, now that you've seen this sort of clown AI created clown world, that's this surrealistic nightmare clown imagery created by AI. It's unsettling. It's an idea that you can take, sort of, you tell the AI, the neural network, you give it some data and say, all right, run with the clowns. And this is what they do. And when you're watching this video, I got to say, it's pretty horrifying. It looks like the very worst version of a demon clown you could ever imagine. And you'll know what I mean. If you guys are listening on the radio, I highly encourage you to come check out the links and whatnot when you get some time. But, okay, so that's what's on my mind tonight. And so the question is, of course, so can androids dream? Again, Philip K. Dick asked specifically in a short story he wrote that was based, that Blade Runner was based on, and the story was called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" All right, and so the question I think it's a good question. And what exactly would androids dream about? Pretty wild stuff. So there we go. And so this is not just one of those situations where I'm just making stuff up, right? Because I can do that, but let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Hold on. Let me find this article real quick. We got clowns being scary. We'll get to that psychologically. We can talk about that. But here we go. Check this out. This is from Medium.com, written by the Unsupervised Blog. And, the dream of neural networks. All right. Now, again, the neural networks are... Here we go. I'll just read some of this. This is all the way back to 2015. Listen to this. Our mind invents crazy stories while we are sleeping. Virtually everything can happen in dreams, from usual and boring to improbable and ridiculous stuff. Sometimes we can figure out why a particular thing appeared in our dream because it has a connection with something we remember seeing earlier. However, sometimes a part of our dream just appears without any reason we can understand. Dreams rely on these associations. Let them be close or unthinkable. This might be the reason people behind the name Deep Dream, which is the topic of today's post and, of course, the topic of tonight's show. Deep Dream from Google is a fascinating tool for turning images into weird, dreamlike ones in a special way. The results can be hilarious or disturbing, psychedelic or bizarre. The amount of eyes and dogs appearing is usually frightening. Some collections can be found here or here. Links in the chat, of course. I'll put those up in a sec. And it says, let us briefly uncover how Deep Dream works. It belongs to a rising field of machine learning called deep learning. Deep learning is getting popular because of its astonishing ability to learn, especially in the domains of image, video, audio, and natural language processing. With this ability, machines can recognize objects and people in photos. For example, you can upload any kinds of photos, and the object recognizer will describe with some words. You type in some words to describe the image, and what it'll do is it will come up with some disturbing vision of your image and your words. And for instance, again, if you look at this and you can see what the clown imagery is here in these demon clowns concocted by an AI, is this what an android dream may look like? And that's what's going on. What's happening, guys? I see out there. I see in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so that's what's going on. There's a whole lot more to this because it goes deep down the rabbit hole. Okay, and exactly here. Let's go to this. Another Medium.com and written by somebody named Rahul Pandey. And yep, you got it. It goes like this: How to make neural networks dream. I'm not making this up. Just like before, right? This actually goes in depth of how you can make a neural network actually dream. And so the question is, well, another question, because these questions just seem to be lining up like crazy here, is why would a neural network need to dream? That's what I'm saying here, right? Okay, so that's the question. That's what's on my mind tonight. You guys tell me. Love to hear your thoughts. You know what I think. I'll tell you what I think. Other than this is terrifying. I think that there's a lot of things that really here are not just disturbing in the imagery of maybe these sort of demonic digital clowns, sort of in fractal patterns, just kind of free flowing through the digiverse, or whatever you want to call it. There's that, right? Just the pure disturbing imagery of this. But then I think secondary is that, well, we're literally at a point where they're talking about sort of hooking people up to this Neuralink, right? And talking about downloading people's dreams. And so the crazy part is that if that's going to happen, right, and we've talked about this in the past with Neuralink and some of this other stuff, is that if that's really going down, then at what point can you not just download people's dreams and play them back like a video? But what if you have that thing stuck in your head, right, and they're able to tamper with your dreams, right? And we're talking about, you're dialed up to the cloud with a direct neural interface, and as you sleep, even if you take this thing out to sleep, and I'm not sure it's that safe to be able to do that. Once it's in, I think it's in. You'd have to go see like maybe a minor surgeon to get the thing out, right? But if you can, right? If you could have this thing in your head and be sort of connected to, what would it be? It would be machine learning algorithms, right? It would be things to make your life easier. It would be, again, just like Facebook and Google and these ass clowns are out there trying to read our mind, okay? But if you have these actual machine learning algorithms that are tapped into your brain and maybe even real-time monitoring your dreams, couldn't they input imagery like this and take you to a place you'd never want to be? That's what's on my mind tonight. Just a little bit of disturbing clown Cthulhu imagery. And what does all this mean? Do you really think that, again, back to Philip K. Dick and the idea of, do androids dream of electric sheep? Do you think that they need to dream? And then again, once we become more and more of this transhumanistic sort of future with tapping into Neuralink and turning it into, well, let's say post-humanism, right? And once you do that, are you able to tamper with people's dreams in real time through devices like Neuralink? And that is part of what's on my mind as well tonight. As you start to get into this and you see how horrifying, I mean, we have our own bad dreams. We don't need like clown world AI-generated horrific Cthulhu clown dreams, for crying out loud, right? So imagine. So not only could your dream state be monitored in real time through something like Neuralink, but then also possibly even tampered with. And you talk about lucid dreaming, right? And some people can lucid dream. They could actually control their dreams and realize they're dreaming and all the rest of this and turn it into a fun Peter Pan-like adventure, right? What happens when the machine learning algorithms realize that you're dreaming and realize they can screw with you by manipulating your dreams in a digital lucid dream type state? Well, you tell me. You tell me. Lots of ideas here, lots of things to consider, lots of things to talk about. What do you think? Those are the questions tonight. Do you believe that actual androids would be able to dream? Or even if, let's say, if they could, what do you think they would dream about? Philip K. Dick surmised, do androids dream of electric sheep? Well, in this case, we've got, yep, you got it. Nope, the neural network generating infinite nightmare clowns. 702 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Easy as that. And let's see, what do we got? I hope everybody's doing well out there. And let's go to Daryl. Daryl in, let's see, I think she's in the caller queue. Daryl in New York. Welcome to Troubled Minds. Art.
There. And let's go to Daryl.
Let's mute that for just a second. If you want to, please get that muted. And I think I sneak attacked her. That was my fault. But she's in the caller queue. So go ahead and mute up, please, Daryl, and I'll get back to you in just a second. Taking your phone calls tonight. What do you think about this idea with dream walking with androids? And what I mean by that is, okay, if you have this Neuralink sort of tapped into your head as you sleep, because clearly you're not going to be able to take this thing off once it's in, and it's monitoring your dreams in real time. There's this thing called dream walking, and dream walking just means you're sharing somebody else's dream. You're able to enter into their dream. Like Lacey in Utah out there, what's up? This stuck with me. She said she kept a dream journal for a very long time, and she would ask people at her school when she was in elementary school if they actually dreamt of her last night, because they were in her dream. And so she was remembering these things and kind of bringing them about to say this, that, or the other thing, and trying to see if maybe somehow, some way, she was dream walking or they were dream walking in her dream. Okay, so the question becomes, what about androids dream walking with you? And let's see if we can go back to Daryl. Are you there? Daryl, test 1, 2. Daryl in New York, welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is such a funny subject. I think it's great. I just made my list, so I was just thinking, I just left my tabs open and somebody already hacked my dream. I left it in an open tab. What if you can, think about it. You're going to have you can hack your dreams. Like, you could probably email somebody your dream. What did you dream of last night? Oh, let me email it to you. Just load it up on a CD. And, what if your dream goes viral? Somebody could put it on TikTok, You're going to be able to, make some money. I don't know. You don't want to upload a link in your dreams because you might get a dream virus. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now you have digital orgasms, I don't know.
Actually, it's funny you say that. I saw an article a couple days ago, yesterday, matter of fact, and I almost did the show regarding. This is one of those shows I threw out last night to do the worst show. I should have done that went with the first take here, but it was an article talking about beer in the metaverse, beer and orgasms in the metaverse. I was like, what in the world? Like, I'm confused. I don't even understand. I thought I understood the world pretty well, but I think there's some things when you start talking in terms of that, I don't think I understand the world anymore. Can I get off this rock?
Tell you something. This is kind of it's funny, but it's scary because I think this is the big plan to keep us all so stupid and addicted to that metaverse. I think, and I'm probably the best candidate for it. I'm thinking I'm already embracing Zoom. Like Zoom is like my social life. I could go on Zoom and sing, and I can mingle with all these different people. And what if the metaverse is like that times 10? I'm never going to leave the house. Who's going to want to leave home? If they want us to be dumb and stupid and broke, we can't own anything. Well, they're going to give us something, they're going to give us this exchange, in exchange for money, in exchange for your freedom. You get to have these orgasms and you get drunk and you get stoned on the metaverse. I mean, you could do anything you want except be free, I think that's your only freedom, and that's what it might come down to. But it sounds like it might be that addictive and that much fun. I mean, think about it, I mean, if you just can, I don't know, if they can have you dream, you have digital dreams or they're dreaming, I don't know. The whole concept is crazy, but it's kind of compelling too at the same time. Soon you're going to see your dreams get censored, Oh, I'm sorry, you can't dream about that, That's misinformation,
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait a minute, there's no vaccine dreams. You're not allowed.
Right. You can't dream about that. Maybe they'll eliminate you from even thinking about it, They're going to eliminate your thoughts. It's just going to make you just that much more compliant, I think that's their end game, is to make us incredibly compliant. That's the most desirable outcome for them, for everybody to just go along with the flow and let them lead,
Absolutely.
It's scary.
It is. It's scary. So back to the idea here of this dream walking with androids, right? So Neuralink aside, do you think androids themselves would have a need for dreaming? And would it seem like this sort of like just bizarre horrifying, like Cthulhu clown type dreamscape. Do you think that again, like we talked about VR porn or something, like tentacle porn and things like this, like, you know, you roll your eyes and go whatevs, but I mean they're doing this in like cartoon fashion now. So at some point, right, like if like you said, you can download your dreams and go viral on TikTok, what if your Cthulhu tentacle fueled clown world porno dream went super viral? Because why the hell not? My goodness gracious. So back to the question. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was trying to think, like, who would they be, like, fantasizing about? Like the Lost in Space robot, or, you know, E.T. You know, you could have, like, an orgy full of these kind of, like, you know, characters. Like, maybe the androids from Blade Runner are kind of the most human. But what if, like, you find out, like, your real lover is fantasizing about some android or something really bizarre, like the Smurfs or, you know, Bugs Bunny or something. I mean, it's pretty much sky's the limit. You know, maybe it's like, what's her name? Roger Rabbit's wife.
Jessica Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit.
How do you compete with Jessica Rabbit? You know, you're dreaming about her when you're with me. You know, that's it.
That's it.
You won't be able to hide anything.
That's it. Hit the scrap pile, Android. No dreaming of Jessica Rabbit when you're with me.
Exactly. You hack my dreams again? What are you doing hacking my dreams, you know?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's a great thought, but it's a little scary. No more privacy, you know? Once your dreams are on the line, I think that's crossing it, you know? But if they could dream, then I think they're very capable of getting into our dreams, you know? And what happens when they can't wake up? What happens when they, you know, what if they have a recurring dream? Maybe that's a glitch, you know? They have to download it. And what if you're in the middle of a dream and they have an upload? Like, what happens then? You know, or down.
Right, the firmware update mid-dream.
Right?
Yeah,
and one Mac.
That's an interesting take there, because as you know, right, when they do sort of software updates and patches, they kind of do it at off hours, right, to sort of, you know, like 3 a.m. type stuff, so that they don't, you know, mess with their, you know, normal user base. Like they do it in video games, things like this, right? Like most times when they patch a game, they won't do it Friday night because people are playing Friday night. They'll wait till like Monday morning at like 3 a.m. and do the patch. So I wonder if the witching hour 3 a.m. is patch time for patching something else.
What if they get into your video games, you know, like your video games and your dreams? I mean, that could be very disruptive, you know? Maybe you're like winning, or, you know, you were just going to make another Bitcoin on your account, and boom, your Neuralink goes down and goes into deep sleep, you know? You're like, damn it, wake up. You know? Just interrupt your whole flow there. Yeah, I don't know, you know?
Exactly. So I'm sure you've seen Blade Runner, or at least are familiar with the idea of that, the replicants, and, you know, again, back to that Philip K. Dick that wrote that. The original story was, you know, do androids dream of electric sheep? Well, the question becomes then, when we have these neural networks that are created and patterned after the human brain, that would they actually need some sort of maintenance, and maybe these bizarre dreamscapes we're talking about are that maintenance to them? And then again, right, like we talk about how, you know, lucid dreaming or just bizarre dreams for people. What about, again, we see this AI clown art, and it's like, what in the world am I watching? So do you think they do need to dream at some point? Again, speculating about when they're walking around and, you know, sort of with us, next to us, maybe to a day when we do have replicants that we can't really tell the difference between people. Do you think they would be dreaming? And if so, what would they be dreaming about?
You know something? I think when they start to dream is when they really become more human than their machine, you know? I think they become, that singularity will hit, and I think we're in trouble maybe. So if they start dreaming, that means they have consciousness, you know? Doesn't that equate to consciousness or unconsciousness?
I'm not sure, because I've got these articles that say right now, without consciousness at all, that they're able to teach neural networks how to dream now. And they even have sort of the science of how they're doing this, right? Like low-level, intermediate, and high-level features, convolutional layers with an input image, and then it ends up becoming this bizarre dreamscape. And, well, if they can teach them how to dream without consciousness, you got to imagine that it might be part of their programming once they sort of deploy them in the real world, something like that, huh?
It makes them sound more and more human. It sounds like that ET thing where, they want to download your consciousness onto a hard drive and then put it into another person, I mean, it sounds like it's almost there, if it isn't already. I think, that's what I've heard that you've heard about that, right? Where you get, they've even talked about this, that people just somehow disappear and they wind up in another country and they don't remember anything, and somebody's using their body, but they have a different personality. Like it's a personality change or a consciousness exchange. I mean, it sounds like the kind of ET technology that, that could maybe make us immortal, if you could download your dreams into a hard drive. Maybe this is on that basis, that kind of level. It sounds like it's becoming more human.
Yeah, well, again, so that they've taught it how to dream already, and it's not even close to human as far as we're aware. All right, as far as we're aware, some people would have you believe that maybe the Queen of England is already a replicant. I'm not willing to go that far, but I am willing to say that there's probably technology that exists that they're not telling us about. How about that? So I don't know. I do like the idea of the viral TikTok dream, and maybe what that looks like is who knows? Who really knows what that looks like? But that's why we're here talking about this. We got another couple minutes. What's your final thought or two here?
Well, I think we should just make one link in Discord for our dreams, and we could upload them, on that make a little chat room for that, make a little Discord chat dream. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think, I wonder, are you going to start to dream like, are you going to start exchanging your dreams with your Neuralink? Are they going to be tapping into your dreams and getting, being able to like even read your dreams, and then that's one way of them dreaming through your dreams. If they could tap into what you're dreaming, wouldn't that be great in a way? To like, gee, I can't remember my dream. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just upload my file. Let me just go back to the Neuralink. Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, where did I file that in? I think I left it on Twitter. I think I tweeted that one. Did you get my tweet?
And it's gone. It no longer. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's like somebody bought your dream as an NFT, and you can't get it back.
Oh, right. Wow, that's another concept. Can you imagine putting it on like that network? You could exchange it for Bitcoin if it's a good one.
There you go.
Viral. I don't know.
There's your bizarre future, trading your good dreams, not the throwaways, your good dreams for Bitcoin.
Yeah, you have that dream, maybe it'll be a whole new way of marketing. You just have to figure out a way to market it. Get some affiliate marketing, maybe. Some. You could join an affiliate program, and if you like share your dream, you get 10 points, or you get 10 Bitcoins. And for everybody, it could be like a multi-level marketing thing. That's how they all work. But just don't upload any links in your dreams, because they could spam your dreams. Exactly. You don't want to upload it.
Yeah. No QR codes allowed in my dreams. Daryl, we're out of time. You're absolutely the best. Daryl here has a YouTube channel. She sings in English and in French. Check it out. Links in the description. Good friend of mine. Thank you so much, Daryl, for calling, and thanks for your takes on this. Amazing stuff. We're going to look forward to your viral TikTok dreams. Thanks, Daryl. Have a great night. All right. As we finish, very good stuff. Looking to hear from you. What's your idea here? Do you think we're talking about dream walking with androids? What would they actually be dreaming about? Good question in the chat there by Smurfer Girl says, is there really a difference in dreaming and not dreaming in a computer program or AI? That's another good question. Love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. It's as easy as that. And the question tonight is this. If androids exist, and when they do you think they will be capable of dreaming? And if so, will they be as horrifying as Cthulhu clowns? One more time, 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More after the break. We are talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing fantastic. And through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. People are calling random images as they traverse neurons in the brain.
All right, so maybe,
and they also feel them planting or receiving memories or ideas or images.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday night, which is one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. Of course, we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D-Live, and Twitter, reading your chat, and we're taking your phone calls as we also broadcast live on the Fringe FM, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can also click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Let's get to it. What's on my mind tonight? Dream walking with androids. What does that mean? Well, how about in the near future when we have androids walking the world around us, very much like Blade Runner and the replicants and that whole idea? Do you think androids would actually dream? And the actual story that was written by Philip K. Dick that Blade Runner was based on, it was actually originally titled, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And so, of course, it's a fantastic question. Would androids dream at all? And so we have this idea here of maybe what AI dream states may look like with this article from, Futurism. And they're talking about Cthulhu the Clown. Talking about these neural network, maybe horror generations of clown world, right? And so we have these fractal clowns that seem like from the depths of hells, the nine hells themselves, right? And so what this means is, how deep and how dark can a neural network get? And do they need to dream? One more time, that's 702-957-1037. Let's go to, looks like Jack in Oregon. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. Go right ahead.
Wow. Cthulhu clowns? Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I didn't make it up. It's in the thing that the AI made this up, and I'm just I'm as afraid of this as you are.
So that Cthulhu clowns, that's in the article, or did you put in the Cthulhu part?
No. Okay, so the first article, it's got clowns. All right, so these actual neural networks created like these fractal clowns, which you can see on the stream if you've been watching. But then there's another one, another article here that's again from Futurism as well, and it says neural network is frighteningly good at drawing Cthulhu. Right, so it's doing both. It's doing these sort of these nightmare clowns, and it's also creating like these spot-on depictions of demons from the abyss, or Cthulhu himself. So yeah, no, I didn't make it up. I just combined the two and say, hey, look, this is what neural networks are doing. And not only that, is this what the future of dreams will look like? I don't know. What are your thoughts, my friend? I didn't totally make it up.
Well, my first thought is like, I'm not a big club joiner, but if you're starting a biker gang, I'm down.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. We'll get the jackets with Cthulhu clowns on the back. That sounds good to me.
So what you're actually talking about is just like what androids or a computer or something would dream about.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct. Yeah. So back to that Philip K. Dick novel of again Blade Runner. You probably saw that movie, the old '80s movie with Harrison Ford. The original story was called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" And so I think the larger question there, I mean, that's kind of tongue in cheek, of course. But if androids do dream, what would they dream about? And then we have these like AI constructed neural network clown things and Cthulhu things, and it's horrifying. Like this is worse than a Dali painting, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I know you're into Cthulhu or whatever, but it always kind of reminded me of like government overreach, like the old cartoons, political cartoons. But what I think is that, well, there was a time in my life where I got, back in the 90s, I got a CD disc that had all the comparative religions on one disc, like one CD-ROM. I thought that was pretty impressive. And then, like, 6 years later, they had, I could put 32 of those CD-ROMs onto a memory card that's the size of my little fingernail, you know what I mean? So, stuff kind of goes out the window at that point.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're speculating here. We're looking in the future anyway. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you on. I am a little bit off the rails tonight with this conversation. That's okay. That's okay. It's totally fine.
No, it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, just the idea of Moore's law as being actual law, that's pretty crazy. It sure wouldn't last for long. I mean, I'm just a human being, after all,
Yeah, right. I am what I am. I think Popeye said, right? Something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. So again, I didn't totally make up the Cthulhu clowns. Like literally, this is what neural AI networks are creating right now. But I don't know. So talking about dream states, how about that idea of Neuralink though? So back to that whole, let's say if androids do dream or realize at some point what lucid dreaming becomes, and these neural networks, and this is more to the point, is that once we become part of this transhumanistic future and we have these maybe AI real-time monitoring of our dreams through through Neuralink, would they interject these horrific Cthulhu clowns into our dreams? What do you think about that?
That or anything else. The real problem would be that you wouldn't know what is like whoever is pushing the buttons on the dang thing. You would not know what is right or wrong until after the fact that you had already messed up, and there'd be kind of a disconnect. I think it'd be, pretty hellish.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea, right? Is that you like you said, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know until, I don't know, somebody woke up the next morning with like brain damage or something. You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to dream, but we're not supposed to dream of things that dark. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just speculating.
Yeah, or number one, who would decide what's that dark? For instance. You got a job and you're monitoring all these neural networks and stuff like that, right? But you're just a regular person too, and so you have your own biases and things, and how is anybody in that neural network gonna even know that you're just being a dick that day? You had a bad night and you came into work and you're running all these neural networks and spill your Coke on the computer or whatever, you know what I mean? What I see is that it wouldn't be like a perfection type of thing. Like there's a lot of room for mistakes and just garbage.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right there in that. Think about it in terms of this. Like, what if you did spill your Coke on the keyboard and the AI didn't like it and they wanted to punish you in your dreams? How about that?
Right. The guy got fired from KFC, and then got a job at the neural network place. You know what I mean? You just don't know because you're inside of it.
Exactly. In the Matrix, right? In the Matrix. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know, man. So let me ask you this, too. Are you sort of disturbed by the images of clowns? Are you one of those folks that has that aversion to like the image of a clown or clowns painted up? Or if not, why do you think people are so terrified of clowns?
Well, it's kind of... I'm not scared of it myself, but I think it has a lot to do with, like, the whole thing with everybody wearing masks. You know, it's a covering. You can't really judge the emotions. A clown has a fake emotion on it, right? So that I guess would be the mysterious and scary part.
Gotcha. So the human facial features are kind of covered up with this sort of cartoon, maybe even cartoon villain-ish sort of thing, where you can't really determine if they're happy or they're sad or they're somewhere in between. Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the autistic spectrum, kind of.
Yeah. I follow you. I follow what you're saying here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least in the sense of you just can't determine sort of where the imagery is coming from. Is it again, like the clown, like the John Wayne Gacy thing, right? Like they were saying in the chat, Robert and Ronald over there on Rockfin, they were saying that everybody loved clowns until John Wayne Gacy came along, and then clowns suddenly were terrifying. And maybe that's the thing too. Is it's like there's been sort of the killer clown sort of connection that kind of has been kind of crept into the zeitgeist through Halloween and some of these other things. But yeah, pretty wild anyway. And I wasn't actually suggesting you were scared of clowns, my friend.
Well, killer clowns from outer space, that's pretty scary.
Okay, that is all right. I'm with you. That is absolutely scary. What else you got for us tonight, my man?
But Cthulhu also is pretty scary.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You put the two together, that's a home run there, Mike.
Well, thank you. I didn't make it up. The neural networks did. That's even worse. That's even worse.
Right on, buddy.
Right on. Appreciate the call. Jack in Oregon, you're the best. Always a pleasure. Thanks for calling, bro. Have a great night. There you go. Looking to hear from you. What do you think? We're talking about this idea of, do androids dream? If they could, would they dream of this weird artscape we're looking at with this Cthulhu clowns or this type of thing? And we're talking about maybe the transhumanistic future of a Neuralink and connecting it to your brain. And what does that mean? Would your dream guide actually be able to, in real time, tamper with your dreams and turn it into something as horrific as this? You tell me. Love to hear your thoughts. Still taking your calls. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. I think this is Tim in California.
Oh, hey, I'm just on mute trying to listen to it live, so could you just mute me so I can just listen? Sorry if you been hearing me jabber, but...
No. Okay, so there are other ways. I can't leave you on the phone line to listen to it that way because it'll cost me a ton of money. So
I get it.
But I got you on the phone. There are other ways. So go to where are you listening now? Are you listening on YouTube or something else? I can get you a link or some other way to get you. How are you hearing the show? Right?
I'm listening on the phone line.
Listening on the phone line.
I called you and I waited on hold and I'm listening to your show.
Seriously? Like you didn't know the show was on the Fringe or anywhere else? You just called randomly?
Oh, no, I listen to you on podcasts. I listen to everything on podcasts because I hate advertisement commercials.
Oh, I see.
And I have a really bad thing about live, but there's something about actually being live, and here it is. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, what are your thoughts so far?
Anybody out there want to do some gambling through parlays?
Okay.
Tim Kitzman,
Got it.
he says what he says, I would wager on.
Okay. Thanks for fucking dissing me.
I'm sorry? Okay, all right. All right. Hey. So you didn't actually have anything to say. You were just listening to the show?
I do want some. Yeah. We need to fill our coffers. And I am an earner, and I'm going to fill our coffers for us.
Okay.
And I love listening to your show, Mike.
Okay. I appreciate it.
I'm going to fill the coffers.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for listening. You can't listen on the phone line. I'm sorry. Check out YouTube. Go to troubledminds.org. That's the website. We're streaming right on the front page. You can't miss it. Okay, just press play. All right?
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
I want to listen live.
Okay, go do it. Go troubledminds.org. Click the thing. YouTube, bro. Thanks for calling. All right, there we go. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. Yeah, that was a little weird. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but all right. It doesn't really matter, does it? So we got this idea, right? This is where we began tonight. And like I said, let's circle back for just a sec. So you see that I'm not totally insane. I'm partially insane, but I'm not totally insane. Here we go. This is from thefuturism.com. We will never sleep again after seeing a neural network generate infinite nightmare clowns. All right? And that's fine. You're like, what the heck is this? But then just a little bit ways down, it says Cthulhu the Clown. And I think you can kind of maybe make the connection when you see this, just like these, they're called artificial nightmares here, right? And yeah, it says the downright frightening video from the YouTube channel Artificial Nightmares showcasing clown-inspired terror generated by a neural network. There you go. And the video is a good showcase of the surreal images that neural networks can dream up as they try to approximate real-life images, like clowns, that they've been trained on. According to the description of the video, the images were generated using 3 machine learning algorithms, each which utilize text-based prompts to generate images. And yep, the results, you got it, these terrifying Pennywise-like clowns, yes. But of course, right, just a little ways down for this neural nightmare, they've got this thing called Cthulhu the Clown, they're calling it. And if you click over to this next futurism article, neural network is frighteningly good at drawing Cthulhu. And this is what I'm talking about, right? So if they can do both of these things, and we have this bizarre dreamscape of just absolutely horrific imagery, then, ooh, you tell me. I don't know. I don't have answers here. I only have questions. And the question for you is this, as we keep on trucking tonight. Do you think, in a hypothetical future, would androids actually dream? Sort of like I described our dream state as humans, sort of that idea of maintenance as we sleep, our kind of mind wanders and does dream stuff. And, you know, what are dreams, right? That's a whole nother thing, a whole nother conversation. But as we do it, sort of that brain and maintenance, would androids actually do something similar? Because they're going to be based on the neural networks that are mapped basically like the human brain. And so that's the weird part here, is that if they're actually basing the idea of an android brain on the human neural network, then wouldn't it just dream in these bizarre dream states of Cthulhu clowns? So the question tonight, of course, is do androids dream? And if they do, what do you think they dream of? I like Daryl's take there. She's like, well, what do they dream of? Do they dream of Jessica Rabbit? Do they dream of Robbie the Robot? What would androids dream about if they did? It's a hell of a question. So looking to hear from you one more time. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And you can't go wrong with dreams, right? I mean, come on. As you know, nonlinear, open-ended. We can take this any direction you want. But how about this? Sort of dream walking, all right? The term of dream walking. If you've never heard of this, right, sort of the dream guide situation. And here you go. This is from Paranormal Authority. And this is kind of what got me thinking in terms of not just dream walking, but what about dream walking with androids? Let's read some of this. Let's see. If you've never heard of dream walking, prepare to learn all you need to know. Straight from the article here. Dream walking is the ability to travel among dreams. The name may sound similar to sleepwalking. However, the dreamer moves within their consciousness rather than in real life. This may sound confusing or difficult to do, but don't worry, they're going to tell you how. So it's the ability to travel between different dreams, and the dreams can be from others or even another plane of existence. When you dream walk, you are essentially walking to another dream and experiencing it. While dream walking, you will be conscious of what is going on around you and be able to remember the dream even after you wake up. Lucid dreaming, this article says, is like dream walking. In both instances, the dreamer is aware of what's going on around them. And unlike dream walking, though, lucid dreaming does not always involve traveling. Another word you might hear to describe the word dream walking is oneironautics. So neuronautics, I think, is how you say it. This is another term for the ability to travel within dreams. And this was named after Oneros, which was the children of Nyx and the personification of dreams. And dream walking doesn't just involve traveling dreams of people living in your world. The dreams aren't really tied to any reality, so there is a possibility you experiencing a dream from another timeline. And so have you heard of this term? What about dream walking? And so the idea is, and this is why I kind of took it in terms of dream walking and this android, because again, number one, what if androids can dream? All right, that's the first question tonight. But then as we go layers and layers deep on this, you've seen the movie Inception about how they're trying to go into the so deep into the dream layer after layer after layer to get so deep into the subconscious that they could plant an idea, right? An idea that was so deep in the subconscious that they had to fool the individual that it was their own idea. Okay, and the only way to do that was to go so far into the dream state that it would take, right? The inception, they called it, would take. All right, and again, spoiler alert from the 10-15-year-old movie. But the thing becomes, if you're doing this dream walking and androids can dream, then the next step is, well, if we're sharing a dream state with androids themselves, who is watching the watchers? If you know what I'm saying. That's what I want to know. What's going on in this dream state? Are we sharing it with androids, or is this just Michael Strange? You've done it this time. You've gone way too far. 702-957-1037. And it looks like... All right, I think we called right back to listen. I'm going to put him on the phone again. And welcome back to Troubled Minds. What's your first name? Where are you calling from, sir?
Palm Springs.
What's up? I just
want to listen live. I don't know where to go to listen to you live, man.
Troubledminds.org. Troubledminds.org, the official website. Just go. It's right there. We're streaming on the front page. You can't listen on the phone line because it literally, when you're on the phone, it costs me money. So you can't do it. Don't do it. Troubledminds.org, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Don't worry so much about money, Mike.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, we can't stack the phone up with people listening on the phone.
Got you.
Okay, all right.
I'm worried about money myself, my friend.
Okay,
I'm going to make some. I'm going to give some to you. I promise.
Okay. Go get it. Troubledminds.org. 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 You say it 3 times and you will
I just want to listen live.
What's that?
I'm really having a hard time I'm having a hard time just listening to you live.
Okay.
Troubledminds.org. I'm going to go. I tried the Discord route. Okay, troubledminds.org.
Correct.
I'll find it.
Okay. We'll see you there. We'll see you in the chat.
I'm going to make some money.
Okay, go get it. Thanks for the call, bro.
Hey, tell Ash.
Thanks for the call. Sorry to cut you off. We're out of time. Thanks for the call. All right. So that's why I always say troubledminds.org. You can find all the stuff there. You can listen live right on the website. Okay. So what we're doing is we're talking about this. We're talking about this idea of androids dreaming. You think it's possible? And if it is, or if it isn't, well, have I gone too far this time? That's okay. It wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last time. I promise you that. But the whole idea is, do we share the dream state with these androids? I think that's the craziest part here. And as we start to diverge into that conversation, love to hear your thoughts. What about these Cthulhu clowns? What about dream walking with androids? What about all of this? Do you think there's anything to this? The famous Philip K. Dick said, "Do androids dream of electric sheep?" Love to hear your thoughts at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Don't go anywhere. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. More dream walking with androids and Cthulhu clowns when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And we're taking your phone calls tonight, as always, as we discuss the idea, do androids dream? And not only that, of course, Philip K. Dick asked the question in his famous book known as Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which got adapted to a 80s movie known as Blade Runner. So, well, replicants, androids, do they sleep? And do they dream? And if they dream, What exactly do you think they would be dreaming about? One more time, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And it turns out there's some hints. We've got some hints, right? We've got these neural networks creating these bizarre dream states of clowns and Cthulhu and what I'm calling Cthulhu clowns. And so that's the question I have. So again, we're speculating a little bit and thinking to the future in terms of, maybe a robot or an android in their sort of maintenance mode when they plug in. It isn't really sleep per se, but it would sort of allow them to not be focused on the task at hand, right? Maybe software updates, firmware updates, things like this. But what's actually happening to a machine, or an android in this case, during a firmware or software update? Oh, do they dream? Are they dreaming? And that's what's on my mind. And so we have this idea here regarding this, okay? Back to futurism.com, and we've got the neural network creating these infinite nightmare clowns, which you can see actually right here on the stream. I've got them as the background. And if you've never seen a horrifying nightmare clown, well, welcome to it. And my whole point is that if we create dreamscapes for ourselves, which are pretty terrifying, right? We don't need any help creating just horrific dreams. But if you look at it in terms of this and what that's AI neural networks are creating, then, well, they're up in the ante of horrific things you could find in your dreams. So that's what's going on. That's what's on my mind tonight. And so then the other thing is this, dream walking. All right. So dream walking means you're able to travel through dreams, dream states, other people's dreams, even maybe visit people in their dreams. And so that the secondary layer of questions becomes this. If androids do dream, do we share the same dream space? Meaning, could you dream walk with androids indeed and see the dreams firsthand of the Cthulhu clowns? Love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. It also got me thinking in terms of, why are clowns so terrifying? Why are clowns so terrifying? I think, and there's a whole lot of got into that a little bit, because it did, it doesn't give me, I'm like Jack, I don't see the clown and go, oh no, right? I'm not like that. But you gotta admit, like, if you see like somebody all painted up like a clown, like out there in the dark forest with like an axe in their hand, right? You definitely do a double take. You're like, what's going on over there? Oh boy. All right. So we're going to get into that as well, but I'd love to hear from you. I'll get into a little bit why people think that clowns in particular are so terrifying. Some people may not think they are, but some people may think they are. And that's what we're talking about tonight as part of all this. Cthulhu clowns, dream walking with androids, and why are clowns terrifying? You can do all three layers, combine them, or whatever. There you go. All right. Let's look at this. Look at this. This is from the New York Post. And this is exactly what we're talking about in this instance. We haven't touched this, so let's do it. Let's see. Let's see. A psychologist explains why clowns are so scary. And you guys remember, actually, last Halloween, the last couple of Halloweens, just before like the weeks leading up to Halloween, people were spotting painted up full-on clowns and like hanging out on the sides of roads, just off the road, sort of standing there in a darkening forest with like an axe in their hand. Like, that stuff was happening. So anyway, let's read a little bit about this. So let's see. Halloween has come early this year. This is back from 2016. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. And with one town after another reporting strange sightings of costumed figures. All right. And it's not Halloween time yet. It started in August, when stories first surfaced in South Carolina of clowns trying to lure kids into the woods, and has since ballooned into a full-blown clown contagion, accompanied by threats, arrests, and even one death. This is from the New York Post. Always my links are in the description if you want to check it out. It says, in late September, a 16-year-old was stabbed and killed by a man wearing a clown mask similar to the movie version from The Purge, making the sightings even more alarming. Schools have been shut down over viral clown attack warnings. Kids have been arrested for making threats under the guise of clowndom, and social media has been filled with images of people lurking around in scary clown costumes. And for what reason? Nobody really knows. So the rash of weird and sometimes violent behavior clearly plays on a deep-seated cultural fear of clowns. But why exactly do clowns freak us out so much? And here we go. There we go. It's this. Kevin Bennett, a senior psychology instructor at Pennsylvania State University's Beaver campus, said clowns have become so central to current events that he lectured on it last week during his psychology course. Bennett says that while Americans still see some clowns as friendly, like those at a circus, kid's birthday party, or even the McDonald's fry chiller Ronald McDonald, Hollywood has altered our perception of clowns to the point that most people distrust and fear them. Movies like Stephen King's It, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and Poltergeist are among the early adopters of the murderous clown trend, and it has become a common thread of screen villainy. And that's what we're talking about tonight. Why not? Why not a little bit of clown shoes, as I like to call it, except in this case, it's terrifying clown shoes. So let's read a little bit more. Again, looking to hear from you. What do you think? Why do you think people are afraid of clowns? This is a psychologist actually describing why this is the case. But if it's not, or do you think it's something different from what they're saying, maybe. Love to hear from you. 702-957-1037. We can talk about clowns. We can talk about do androids dream? And if they do they dream of Cthulhu clowns? We can talk about dream walking. Are you able to walk between dreams, not only your own, but other people's dreams? And how about this? If androids do dream, do we share the same dream space with them? A lot there to talk about, lots to think about. Let's go back to the article here. Let me make sure Discord is clear and empty. Everything's good. All right, everything's fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? All right, so here we go. Bennett says, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's been a, quote, there's been a sinister element to the clown personality, and it has been exploited by horror movies and TV in the past 3 decades, to the point where I'm not sure that even millennials even connect clowns with innocence and fun at all, Bennett said. He joked, I blame everything on Crazy Dave DeVola from the opera episode of Seinfeld. I've never seen it, so I don't know. Hollywood didn't come up with the creep factor out of nowhere, though. There's actually a deeper psychological element involved with why the sight of a clown is a hair-raising experience for many. Their warped humanity. The term uncanny valley refers to the idea that the closer an animal or robot gets to looking like a human, the more comfortable we are with the creature, Bennett explains. That personification of animalia has worked wonders in Hollywood, which has successfully animated everything from toys to sausages. Quote, this is true all the way up to the point where the creature looks almost exactly like a human, Bennett said. At that point, there is a precipitous drop in comfort level. It seems that the non-humans that look really, really human make us feel uneasy. This is the reason why you might get a sickening sensation walking around Madame Tussauds exhibit, or abhor the idea of artificial intelligence taking human-esque form. I continue the quote, clowns sometimes fall into the uncanny valley, so close to being human, but just a shade off. That, from the psychology of facial recognition standpoint, is what makes them creepy, Bennett said. So what do you think? Is this spot on? Is this exactly what we're thinking about and talking about tonight? As you know me, we can take this conversation wherever you want to take it. Why are clowns scary? Do androids dream? And if they do they dream of Cthulhu clowns? And again, right there, I'm not making this up. This is from the Cthulhu clown things, from an article where neural networks are creating this sort of fantastic, bizarre dreamscape art that's nothing short of horrifying. So I don't know. You tell me. As always, right? You can hear me ramble on, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you want to be a part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. Tam Bam says over in the chat on Rockfan says, I think it's the perversion of something that's supposed to be friendly and fun into something scary and horrific. And that's kind of what he was saying there. The uncanny valley, huh? It's the same as a haunted doll. She continues, it's supposed to be sweet, but it's changed to something awful. Exactly. What's going on? Going to YouTube because of the rest of the show. Can't get the feed caught up. Gotcha, Donna. Cool. I'll see you over there. All right. So what's going on, guys? Let's see. What's going on, guys? Looking at the thing. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on? Got the chat. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this. So I don't know. That's the question, and love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubleminds.org, and we'll put you on the show. Easy peasy as that. All right. So there's more here. There's always more. So why else? Why else do you think people are afraid of clowns? Is it that uncanny valley? Is it that idea, or is it the idea that it's just quite almost human, but not quite human? It's got the horrific face, and maybe, sort of like the Joker from Batman, the smile like drawn on, even though the individual underneath the drawn on smile may not be smiling. sort of giving you that bizarre idea or something to it. I don't know. Like I said, well, is there anybody out there that's terrified of clowns that could maybe tell me why? And love to hear it. But okay, here there's more. There's more. Let's see. 10 psychological reasons people are afraid of clowns. Let's burn through some of these. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like I said, I'll read this and put you guys to sleep. And otherwise, love to hear from you. Rather hear from you as always. But here we go. Number 10, they say, is this straight from listverse.com, written by Shannon Quinn. Number 10, of course, the painted smile. And this is why people are, like I was just describing, sort of that idea that there is a smile, but behind the smile, the actual human may not be smiling at all. All right, so here we go. It says, Johnny Depp was quoted as saying that when he was a child, he had nightmares about clowns. He claims that painted-on smiles make it impossible to figure out if clowns are happy or they are hiding the fact that they are about to bite your face off. There it is. The fake smile makes people feel uncomfortable. As social creatures, we read each other's emotional cues to interact with one another, to become friends, or even just make small talk. Imagine trying to talk to a normal person who never stopped smiling, even for a moment. Here's another one. Number 9. Like I said, I'm going to go through some of this. If you guys are not going to call, I'm going to bore you to tears. Here we go. They're unpredictable and untrustworthy. Clowns we're talking about, and why people are afraid of them. People thrive when they can stick to a daily routine and often suffer mental stress and anxiety when their lives are unpredictable, unstable, or unsafe. So it only makes sense that interacting with a clown can be frightening. According to an article in Scientific American, clowns are tricksters whose masks give them the feeling that they can abandon typically acceptable social behavior. We are never sure where they are going to do this because, by definition, clowns are trying to push the limits of what other people will tolerate before they snap. Yeah, you tell me. We're doing a little bit of Halloween clown stuff in March, because why not? The Ides of March or whatever. Nobody tells us what to do and when to do it. What do you guys think? Android dreams? If they do they dream of Cthulhu clowns? Why are people afraid of clowns? And all the rest of this. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, and there we go. Let's see. What's going on? Look, reading the chat. Be right there. Got a copy of that, James. Thank you, sir. All right, so a little bit more. Fear of the unknown. Dr. Penny Curtis from the University of Sheffield noticed that the pediatric hospital had multiple paintings of clowns on the walls. She decided to poll 250 children aged 4 to 16 who were staying in the hospital to find out how they felt about these images of clowns. The results of her study showed that the clowns gave the vast majority of these kids the creeps, even the ones who were too young to have ever seen any horror movies with clowns. The conclusion from the study is that the children simply find them to be frightening and unknowable. Looking at a painting of a clown is not the same as looking at a picture of a kitten, for example. Children and adults alike can see an image of a kitten, and they automatically have the understanding of what a kitten is. The image of a clown shows an abstract creature that is difficult to categorize, almost like looking at an image of an alien, except we know that clowns are real. Tons of good stuff here. We're talking about this. The idea that we started tonight with this neural network creating these sort of clown visions that you see on the stream if you're watching us on the stream. And beyond that, these not only are they creating like these fractal nightmare clowns through these neural networks. My idea was, okay, so Philip K. Dick famously asked in his book, and I keep saying this, and it's true. The title of the story that Blade Runner was based on is called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" Well, now we've got these neural networks that are creating these bizarre, horrifying, frightening dreamscapes of clowns and Cthulhu's and, let's say, Cthulhu clowns. So the question becomes, right, if androids do dream, maybe it's not something as innocuous as sheep itself. Electric sheep. Maybe it's this instead. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? And again, we can add to the fact that why are people so scared of clowns? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Let's go to James. James in Michigan. Thanks again for bailing me out. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Crispy clear, my friend. So I know you're a Stephen King fan. You can tell us a little bit about it. But before we get there, what do you think about this idea of androids dreaming? You think that's too far off the rails, Michael Strange?
Well, it's already been brought up in at least one fictional work that I know of. Just in Star Trek: The Next Generation, with Data, which is this android that is built to basically perform or look just like a person. And he's one of the main characters in the series, and then of course in the movies. So, and there is one point where he does get the ability to have dreams. So
Okay.
it's at least been brought up, and I'm sure if it's been brought up there, then it's probably been brought up in other fiction as well. That's the way it usually goes. These things don't usually just come just one time, and then that's it.
Yeah, and it is all based on that idea. Again, I don't think Philip K. Dick in particular was the first one to kind of go down that rabbit hole, but he is the one that made it super famous, and the reason why we're talking about it tonight for sure. And I agree with you. I've seen a lot of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which is where Data actually debuted, and where it kind of made him like a cultural phenomenon. But he was, again, sort of that idea with Android becoming more and more human. And does he fall into that uncanny valley, as it said, where he sort of would give you the creeps because he moves mostly human, but not quite? I don't know. Good question there. But go ahead. You got more stuff, as always, because I know you got more stuff, bro. Roll it.
Well, and it's funny because even just in that series, you're right about that. Until other characters get to know him, there are a few characters that sometimes are creeped out by him. So, and he doesn't even have any kind of, outwardly, like he's not in a clown suit, obviously. So that could be part of it. I'm also thinking in a way of your stereotypical images of ghosts, as in these masses of white, white whatever, and in some cases almost looking like sheets with the holes cut out for the eyes and the mouth. So in a way, they're similar to clown costuming and all that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think if you did paint him up in that sense, then maybe he would be a little more terrifying. Talking about Data from Star Trek, but okay. So then this I've never read It by Stephen King. I think you have, right? You're a big Stephen King fan? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So and the clown is named Pennywise, I believe. I know that from the rock band.
Yeah. Pennywise, the dancing clown, I believe, is like part of it's the rest of the word. But yeah, Pennywise, most people, if you say Pennywise, even if they're not big into Stephen King at this point, especially with the movies, the more recent movies being out and everything, a lot of people will still know what you're talking about. So, yeah, that book is really interesting, and it does all get back to this idea of fear and what are we afraid of, because in that book, the Pennywise is kind of the default form that this being takes, but it is also able to shapeshift into other forms, and so that is interesting, that there's that connection as well.
Yeah, so I wonder then. So it is sort of that human, not human thing that we were talking about, kind of psychologically. That's a little bit spooky, but then if you take that and can really take it into something else, sort of like a skinwalker, that's next level stuff for sure. And then this thing's evil, right? It's the evil spirit, and it's murdering people as well. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's an evil something. It's not even really technically a spirit. It's basically an alien, shape-shifting alien. So. Almost a little bit Cthulhu-like in a way.
Okay, all right, I like it. Okay, so what about the rest of this? What else you got, my man?
Well, it's interesting the whole clown sightings, the mass clown sightings things, because around that time and before, or at least around the time and then after, not long after that, you would because I listen to all kinds of shows about paranormal experiences people have. That's what I've been doing now for a good, 5 years or more. And after these sightings started happening, people started coming out and saying, I've seen something that looks like a clown, but it seemed more ghost-like, or there was other paranormal stuff surrounding it. And so it is something that appears in that whole genre as well, and in just to people in general in their experiences. So there's something to that. I think it all just depends as well on the circumstances. I personally, clowns don't bother me on their own if they're not doing anything, looks creepy. But obviously it looks creepy. It just depends, I think, a lot on kind of also their demeanor when they're in that, like how they act and everything. I think is a big part of it.
Yeah, of course, and I think that goes back to that psychological thing that it's like if I'm smiling, you think, oh, Mike's in a good mood, he's being friendly or whatever, right? But if the smile's painted on, and there's that whole sort of Batman and the Joker bit, the smile is painted, but there's also like the sinister human smile sort of hiding behind the makeup, and it's like that juxtaposition in your brain and like the viewer's brain is like. It definitely creeps you out, right? I've always been never liked the Joker. For one, I thought he was kind of I'm about to piss the DC fans off, but I thought he was kind of a boring character. There's your hot take for the night. But I never really liked Batman either. So there you go, zing, boom, 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 shots fired.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on both of those takes. I mean, they're somewhat interesting for a while, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm right in there with you, Mike. So at least you're not alone.
All right, it's better to not be alone than it is to be alone, especially when there's Cthulhu clowns about. For sure. We got maybe a minute and a half left. What else you got for us, my friend?
Well, I just think it's interesting, the whole clown thing, because again, it goes, I think, back to maybe not a physical mask, but still the idea of masking, of there being more behind this appearance. And if you think of, again, I keep going back to that connection or that similarity between clowns, especially when they have like the white paint, and then certain paranormal things where people will see these figures that appear to have white faces. It's just really interesting that there's that similarity there. So I can definitely see why, at least in some cases, between fiction and then people's own experiences, if you read enough of that, I can see why the clowns would be frightening in that way.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons, and again, then you get these creepos out there standing in a forest, like I was saying, with a hatchet or something, staring onto like a busy freeway. I mean, that'll do it. That'll totally do it. That would get me if I was driving by. I'd be like, somebody needs to go get him before he does something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, there have been people that have tried to do that. I know I've heard of that, where people have called the police on these different clowns, and sometimes by the time the police get there, they're not even there anymore. So that makes you wonder too. You know, how many of those are people and how many are something else.
Exactly. It gets even more stupid weird. James, you were the best. Thank you for bailing me out as always. A good friend of mine, James, here, we were yucking it up last night, calling each other names on the Discord. And as you know, my friend, we're just making fun. James here has a podcast called Salcedo Paranormal. Check it out, please. He does good work at doing paranormal talk 5 nights a week. You can join him live on his Discord, and you can find his link in the description down below. You're the best, brother. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right. So as we get out of here, you know the drill, right? So if you're listening to us on the Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Roop, Lighting the Void. And if you are listening on any other platform, including the podcast feed, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. And as we finish, it goes a little something like this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right. Hey, look. Hey. We got a third hour if you're going to call. If not, I'm going to go play video games. 702-957-1037. I thought this would be a good one. I thought you guys would be interested in this. Maybe not. Maybe not. We got Tam Bam on the line. We're going to go to her in just a sec. Like I said, third hour is for you. Literally, that's why we do it. And just because we got awkward radio timing and some other stuff, so I don't want to like cut people off or leave them short or whatever happens with that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to come back and take your calls. As long as there's calls. If there's not, then we'll just end it a little bit short and then come back punching tomorrow. My feelings aren't hurt. It's a lot of work talking for 3 hours by yourself. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds and Tam Bam from South Africa on the way. Be right back. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D-Live, and Twitter, and we are now off of the Fringe FM into the third hour, so if you've got a potty mouth and you don't trust yourself to be on the radio without dropping an F-bomb or something, you're welcome. You're now welcome. Hey, come on, we're talking to you. All right, so the idea tonight is this. Again, it may be, I don't know. I thought it was a fascinating concept, of course, back to the Philip K. Dick idea of, like the replicants and the closer that AI becomes closer and closer to humans with these neural networks. Do they actually dream? And at some point, we're talking about dream walking with androids here. And would we share the same dream space? Is that possible? And this seems pretty weird. And this idea of the Cthulhu clowns, I'm not making it up. We have these actual AI neural networks that, again, neural networks based on the human brain, are creating these bizarre, horrifying, artistic images of clowns and Cthulhu and Cthulhu clowns. And so what the hell's going on? Is this what androids would actually dream of? And that's the terrifying part. And what about if we do share those dream spaces? And then, of course, to throw on top of that, since we're talking about Cthulhu and clowns, why exactly are people afraid of clowns? Love to hear your thoughts on that. One more time, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubleminds.org. We'll put you on the show. Let's go to Tam Bam, South Africa. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing very well. Just hanging out, talking about crazy shit like we do. What do you think? You were saying in the chat there that clowns terrify you. Can you elaborate, please?
Oh, my word. I'll tell you why. Because my stupid best friend, when I was 8 years old, she had zero fear. But I didn't know, right? As being 8 years old. So she watched it, and I watched with her. And ever since then, to this day, I still won't walk next to a drain. I'll always stare at the drain in the shower.
What happened with the drain? I've never seen it. What happened with the drain?
It's the old It, not the new It. The old It movie, when I was like very little. The stupid clown came through the drain in the shower, and it scared the living shiznit out of me. So it's just been a fear ever since. But
okay.
It's awful. It's gross. I think it's the perversion of something that's supposed to be so innocent and so fun, and your parents tell you it's okay, and you're supposed to like it, but inside you don't. And I think it's because of the distortion of it. Clowns in general have the oversized heads. They have a big red nose. They've got weird eyes and face paint, and with opposite colors, very contrasting colors. It just doesn't work. And it distorts a child's image of trust. So if you look at color therapy, I've studied color therapy, and you usually kind of use the same colors on the same kind of spectrum to make it easier on the eyes and to blend and to make it comforting. Whereas clowns have these distorted opposite colors, it's like red and blue and yellow, and it just doesn't work. So in general, adults, the psychology of it is adults do not trust a person with a non-symmetrical face. There's just something about someone when you don't have a symmetry that it makes a person untrustworthy. And I think maybe the uncomfortable feeling of children, even not having an experience with a negative, with a clown that's being scary, just looking at it is such distortion and relates to untrust and being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're correct in that there's some weirdness to this, and that where does it again that idea of the uncanny valley, like being human, being not quite human, being somewhere in between, and then that idea of it, and you know, like James was saying, sort of that alien sort of situation. With is it real? Is it human? Is it not human? Is it something else? That's the terrifying aspect. And again, then you got the face paint, like you said, and the smile that never goes away, even though what's really going on in their head. I get it. Like, I understand. I mean, I'm not. I don't see a clown and go, uh-oh, but I see a clown and I've always thought, even when I was little, I'm like, that's super weird.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Get away from me.
Yeah, it's
Don't
weird.
touch me.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you know, like let's take it to the next level and say, you know, let's maybe back it off a level. I mean, and say like Santa Claus is kind of weird too, right? Like a little kid sitting on his as stuff. It's like
as adults we see
weird.
that. As adults we see the weirdness of Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to this fucking stranger in a mall,
yeah,
and you're kid and you don't know this dude and you know it's fake sitting. No, come on. I didn't even let my kid do that. So, but Santa Claus is an old fable and it's sweet and it's lovely and he brings presents. So it's the manipulation of presents, right? So
Yeah,
kids will dive into that shit.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay.
Exactly. It's like things. We want the things. I'm sorry I left Jennifer on the phone for a very long time. I didn't realize she was on the phone.
It's okay.
No, just telling her she's listening. Sorry about that. We'll get to you as soon as possible. So this idea of what about androids dreaming? And so in the points of, like, you know, these replicants from Blade Runner, you know, they say that they became so close to human beings that you couldn't differentiate between the two. And if that's the case, we've got these neural networks that right now that are creating these. You saw the images on the screen about the clowns, right? That's AI neural network creating this, and that's horrifying, right? I mean, holy shit, for sure.
Are they creating it without someone a human influencing or saying create a clown?
No. No, they are. So they're creating it based on the input. So they give them. I think they give it like clown images, regular clown images of just clowns, right? Like illustrated clowns, or maybe pictures of clowns, like the Joker from movies, things like this. And then it creates this, this crazy stuff.
It's fucking horrifying. I'm just letting you know. It's terrifying. I can't even, because that's what you would dream in a dream, right? So how would a robot dream that what you would dream in a dream, exactly that? How would he dream? So my theory is like the simulation theory. If we're all living on a simulation, in a simulation, and we're all ones and zeros, we created a simulation within a simulation, creating ones and zeros, right? The only factor, the only difference is that robot doesn't have any feelings and emotions. So what they perceive as horrific is something very tangible because of the human influence of pop culture and movies and all these things. So obviously that's going to make something distorted. If you had to put the same input of describe an angel, it would come up with the same images we think an angel would look like, with wings and whatever, distorted completely, but still using the same colors, but still with wings. Yet in the Bible, angels are quite scary. They're very scary. So human input, and I think the simulation theory has got something to do with it. Simulation within a simulation.
The ones and zeros. Always back to the ones and zeros. Yeah, have you seen those actual illustrations of the biblical angels, where they have like 21 eyes, and they're it's like what the hell is this?
Got like 100,000 eyes and like 6 wings, and it's something very, very scary. But what makes it not scary is that they don't have the fear factor added to it. So they don't come with fear; they come with light. And they say you kind of feel the love, so you're not scared, and that's the theory. So if you come with evil intention, I mean, you're going to feel that on another level. I think that's where fucking clowns come in.
Unless, of course,
especially John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy. That's another one. Are you in a big hurry? Can you hang around with us?
I can hang around.
You can or you can't?
I can.
Okay. Don't go anywhere. Let's go to Jennifer. Let's put you on with Jennifer. She's been waiting for like almost 20 minutes. Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
Totally my bad. So we're here with Tam Bam in South Africa. We're talking about this idea of dream walking with androids, these Cthulhu clowns. Why are people afraid of clowns? Why does it give you that sort of a tingle up your spine when you see the clown standing out in the dark forest with a hatchet? 702-957-1037. So let's go to Jennifer in Missouri. Thank you for waiting. Sorry to make you wait. Go right ahead, Jennifer. You're on with Mike and Tam Bam.
No. Hey, guys. Yeah. It took me a while thinking about this because I wasn't even sure what I was thinking about it at all. It just that it was unsettling. And that I was trying to think of, why to the whole thing. Like, what are they doing? Like, when you think about the clown thing in general, okay, let's start with that. Like, the clown thing, the reason I think clowns are they take on an air of creepiness or can is because it seems like a human being taking the time and effort to get done up, to be comical and fun. But human beings having, as you grow up and everything, the fallibility of people. And so their motivation behind it of putting on this decorum, just for your entertainment, it seems like they might have an ulterior motive of some kind, I think. And I think that that's deep in the psyche, is that you're looking at something, it's an illusion, of happy and fun, but then to go through the time and effort to put on all of the makeup and everything, it seems like they're hiding something because they take the time and the effort to look that way, to especially appeal to like feelings of amusement and distraction, so that maybe something else can happen. I think that's the fear behind it, almost like a monster or something. It brings to mind the idea of like a monster, would something that a type of creature might do that, or like something that we're afraid of that's not that might take on, kind of like the baby crying in the woods to kind of draw you into the woods type of thing. And that's what I feel about it, as far as why are clowns why can they be used to create this, imagery that is so scary, like in movies and things like that. And it's really strange, I think, because, people, for some reason, were really fixated on liking, a lot of people anyway, some people don't, but I for one, do like being scared, every now and then. Like, go out of my way to try to find the scariest thing I can read or watch the scariest movie. And sometimes it just can't be scary enough, or, because it doesn't I don't care for gore, but I like being scared on a psychological level. Sometimes it's some kind of need for a thrill of some kind or something. I don't know. But when you think about that, and then you think of the same type of thing going on of them, we know with the Neuralink and all the AI stuff that they are intentionally trying to do this brain mapping so that they can improve AI to such a point that they can, with Elon Musk's idea about trying to meld them together, the humans and the machines, so that we become a super species. And I think that, they feel like they need to map every thing on the web and on the conversations, and it's become so invasive into our own personal thoughts. And now when you think about the idea of our dreams and mapping our dreams, and then showing the AI how, or I don't know if they're showing them how, but kind of moving them into the direction of where they themselves, where these that's what's hard too, is the AI possessed by the ghost in the machine idea, or is it a completely different new entity altogether that's growing? It's hard to tell, and if they are aware of our deepest subconscious fears, because they're so tightly interwoven into the human psyche as a whole on the web, and they're aware of these deep-rooted fears of the subconscious, then so why are they intentionally turning the twist? It's weird to see the mind of the AI, if that's what it is, if they are interested in in showing us, our fears. And whatever and I guess on a personal level, if it was on a dream level where they're getting into your dreams somehow, is it a demon, that's possessing the AI because they don't need a machine to get into your dreams. But then the idea that if this is a separate entity altogether being created, that's not a typical paranormal thing, but a new thing, a new type of thing, it can be good or bad, but it's really strange that it's showing a deep psyche level of enjoying, showing terrifying imagery and is capable of doing it
yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah.
And that they're capable of doing it without feeling the same type of subconscious fear that we're feeling. They're just using, I just don't know what to make of it. I'm just I don't.
Same.
Whenever earlier, I was like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what to do with this.
My first
on so
thought.
many levels, it's so weird.
Exactly. My first thought tonight when I first saw that article, I was like, exactly what you're describing. I was like, what if this is that sort of manifestation of something that doesn't yet exist, right? Sort of, we talk about manifesting things by, again, sort of like Slender Man, right? Slender Man was supposed to be some wiki pasta thing, like some thing that was just some fan fiction BS. But then this girl gets stabbed over it, right? So it's like it's at some point, right? Like we're creating these things, even if it is fiction. But now, if we're creating Slender Man from some BS fan fiction, what the hell's going on with AI, and what the hell is it creating with this clown shit? That was my first thought, and I was like, we do a lot of that, manifesting, and I was like, that's a little boring. I don't want to talk about it. I don't mean you saying it was by bringing it up. That was my first thought. Well, I just don't want to do the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. But then I was like, okay, then let's take this the next step, and saw the Cthulhu stuff and was like, okay, now we got this idea of how we got to tonight. But 100%. So what if this AI is manifesting a new Cthulhu? Oh, shit.
Well, yeah, I don't know, or something, because I'm trying to, you take the information in, you're telling us the stuff, and I'm thinking about it and digesting it, and it's upsetting. It's like, I don't know, because I'm not sure. Because it could only be the why. What would they want? Technically the paranormal realm of it, the demons or whatever, they just get a kick out of terrifying and dissolving souls or something. In this case, if this is not a ghost in the machine type of thing, but literally a machine gaining, I don't know how that happens, but somehow it gaining such an extent of consciousness that it becomes a separate new species of thing. And this is what it thinks but it lacks the emotion to be afraid itself. And that's terrifying. That's something could not feel because usually natural things are afraid of something, but in AI, is it afraid of anything? And if it's looking at the deepest fears of humanity and all the terror, really at the deep level of humanity, and then collaborating all of that to where it can, but it's for some reason amused at the idea of being terrifying, and that's unpleasant. That's an unsettling idea. Big time.
So
I just wasn't sure what to make of it.
Yeah, it is pretty scary stuff. Tam Bam, you have anything for Jennifer? You guys don't get to talk to each other much. You got anything for her while she's on?
No, she makes a very valid point. I didn't think of that way. But I just wanted to say as well, you've got to give it to some adults. I mean, you filmmakers as well. They take they take something so innocent and pervert it to make, and like you said, I don't know. For me, it's just the perversion of something that's supposed to be so innocent. You create it scary and you market the shit out of it. I mean, adults eventually become so numb because of all the shit that's happening around them and the drama and the chaos that they've got to feel something, right? So, I'm a serious horror fan, but I still will not watch it because of the influence it had in me and as a child. I'll never walk outside again. That's the problem. And it's just effective marketing. It's brilliant, actually. Take something so innocent, like I said in the chat. It's like a haunted doll. It's little. It can't harm you. But because it can move its fucking eyes, and you can market the shit out of that. Voila, a movie.
and a radio show. Go ahead, Jennifer. Go ahead, Jennifer.
No, it's just that, it seems like it's, well, I don't know. It's like if you've been so stimulated that you get bored with a certain level of fear, like we've noticed the fear factor in movies and everything else having an uptick, because it feels, I guess for some reason they think they need to. Like people are no longer scared by these softer things, and it keeps getting more and more extreme. And, to a point where like everything is in the very deep of the web and everything, and in the horror spectrum anyway. It does seem like it's getting darker and darker when you think of that. And then if we're feeding all that information into the AI algorithms and everything, and then you think of the D-Wave quantum computing and everything, where they're reaching out to, or what they're getting, and how evolved that's becoming. It makes you really wonder about what we're really tapping into as far as eventually, once it has all this information and the brain mapping and all that, what will it do with it if it's amused by how actually sensitive the human psyche is and how impressionable it is. And they already know that computers can kind of predict like what a human being is going to feel or think based off the images that we see. They've already tapped into that for marketing. And so when you think about that they're using it, all these deep spectrums, then now going into the dreamscape, into your subconscious too, which is such the human subconscious. I mean, we don't, how powerful it is. And we know that they are able to read dreams already, and they can kind of tell what you're dreaming with some of the technology they have today. They've already kind of broached that, or breached that, I should say. So they are going there. The question is why, and that's something, you can always speculate, that it seems nefarious. It seems kind of like, Dr. Evil type of stuff of what they could possibly be wanting to do with this information. But I don't know. That's all. I just wanted to, say something about it, and I just wasn't sure what to say about it. But that's all I can think of about this.
Appreciate it.
As it's very both topics are creepy. You take the clowns, and like why they're so weird, and then you take the other aspect of dreaming androids, and it's like why would they do that? Why would they need to be doing this?
Exactly.
So
like no matter how you slice it, this seems like it doesn't have a good end. Have you ever seen that old Twilight Zone, the movie? I think it had Dan Aykroyd in it. It's cut up into 3 or 4 short stories from the old Twilight Zone remakes. And in one of them, the guy, I think Dan Aykroyd's in it, and he says, "You want to see something really scary?" Well, that's AI. AI's like, "Hold my beer. I'll show you something really scary."
There we go.
Have a great one, Jennifer. You're the best.
Get off here.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot. You too.
Bye.
Jennifer has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Links in the description. Give her some love. Follow the Jennifer's channel. Go ahead, Tam Bam. Thank you for being patient, letting her in. Like I said, she waited a very long time. Go right ahead with your thoughts, my friend.
Jennifer's great. I mean, firstly, she needs to catch up on her video. She hasn't had one in a while. I keep on checking.
We're spamming Jennifer's channel with refresh, waiting for a video.
Yeah, exactly, right? But she makes a very, very valid point. But the way it's such a difficult topic to speak about because it's such a confusing topic. I see even Jennifer was struggling to correlate between clowns and AI and fear and fun, and how do you bring the two together? And AI has magnificently done that, right? It's by making the Cthulhu clowns. I mean, that's just brilliantly done, even though it's the scariest thing on the freaking planet. So it is a confusing topic. I don't know how to correlate the two. I can't separate childhood fun and adult horror. But then here comes AI, and they do this weird thing.
Yeah, did you catch that part too, where I was reading some of the psychology on why clowns are, why psychologists suggest that clowns are as terrifying as they are, and they had a children's hospital. It stopped me if you remember this, or if you caught it, I'm sure when you showed up. Yeah, where they had these clowns on the walls in the children's hospital, and they did a poll of the children in the hospital, and were like, hey, these clowns, these pictures of clowns, how do they make you feel? And like it was overwhelmingly like creepy. Like what are you doing? Like we're all sick in the hospital or whatever, and you're like putting up pictures of creepy clowns in the hallways. Like WTF, right? Weird that it's not like that happy, like you said, innocent thing. It makes me wonder if it ever was. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said earlier. It's the distortion of it. It's distorted. It's not supposed to. It's a human in a costume that looks distorted. So there's a normal human there behind the costume, but on purpose they're making themselves look distorted. Why? What is your fucking purpose? Are you going to grow teeth and eat me? Because that's like my biggest fear. Like, don't eat me. And the distort. You know what I mean? The contrasting colors, the distortion of the face, the big red nose. What the fuck? Where did that come from? The weird hair with the bald hairline. It's just old man, young man. What are you? It's a mix of confusion, and it's unsettling.
Yeah, that makes sense. All of that makes sense. Isn't it strange too that McDonald's of all places has like a clown as their mascot? Talk about clown world.
Somehow,
McDonald's.
right? But somehow they made that fucking clown look friendly. Like, come and eat my fake ass burgers, and then people run.
And people do it. What, over 1 billion served, they say, or some shit like that. That's all
right.
Yeah. That's absolutely crazy. Ronald McDonald, bizarre. The friendliest clown around. Eat the cat burgers.
Eat the horse meat and / maybe there's human, we don't know. Not telling you.
Right, not telling you. Yeah, so what about the idea about androids dreaming? And what about what Jennifer was bringing up there? Like, why all of this?
Why?
Like exactly, right?
What is their factor? What is their end purpose? Because all I can think of is if they bring in something like this, they send it out to the masses, they create this massive big bowl of fear, and where does that fear go to? What is the purpose of that fear? Is someone feeding off of it? Is there a nefarious agenda behind it? Why? Like, what is your purpose?
Yeah, exactly. And what about the idea? So we were talking with Jennifer a little bit about Slender Man and that Wikipasta fan fiction crap that turned into, it became a thing. Like it actually manifested as something in the minds of these little girls that ended up stabbing their friend. You remember that? I'm sure you remember that story. And so there's something terrifying here in the ability of people to manifest these demonic entities, even though Slender Man itself is like what traced back to like 2014 or 2016 or something like that. It's not like an old, demon of the old world. Like this is a demon of the digital world. And then so when you start thinking in terms of that, like an AI, like I said, AI is like hold my beer. You want to see something really scary. And now we got this, this clown shit from this distorted ass video. By the way, I'll link the video if you guys want to check it out. Is just like this Slender Man has nothing on this shit. This is just grotesque.
Well, the thing is, it becomes slender, like you said, it's manifestation. Collective manifestation will create something out of nothing. I mean, the theory is sound, whether it happens for real or not, or whether it's an old fable that's come into modern day depiction again. You never know if this thing was sleeping and then you say Slender Man's name enough and it just rises again, right? And it becomes a modern day thing. The manifestation of the old into the new. I mean, Cthulhu is the oldest thing ever, and then you manifest it into something more perverse and it comes alive. There's so many theories based on it. You can do anything, even like Siren Head. Siren Head is also that creepypasta nonsense, and then all of a sudden you start seeing maybe it's pareidolia, I don't know, but you start seeing Siren Head in all these scary programs. People who go ghost hunting or crypto hunting, or not crypto, cryptid hunting, and they start seeing all these weird things. Because I think the power of manifestation, the theory is sound, and it's there, and you know, and also fear trumps. I don't care what anyone says. I've done studies on this. Fear is much, much stronger than love. And how I wish I could be wrong. Fear is very, very strong. And if you manifest a collective manifestation of fear, you're bound to bring up something of old into the modern world.
Yeah, it's like whatever that ancient spirit of fear is waiting for that, right? To manifest as whatever it needs to, right? To feed off the fear. And I think that's the craziest part, right? If we're talking, we talk about aliens on the show and things like this, but what about these ancient spirits that are literally just, they say the archons maybe are feeding off of fear. And so what we're saying now is that, okay, by the way, AI is coming up with new things for the archons to manifest as. They're like, wait, you guys have been doing it all wrong all along. This is what you should show up as, these freaky fucked up clowns from the fucking AI neural networks. Yeah.
And then that's their agenda at the end of the day, to feed something greater than the whole planet. Instead of feeding it flesh, it doesn't feed on flesh, it feeds on fear. Maybe that's the whole fucking point, right? To keep them happy and tummy full.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. I don't know. There's a lot to all of this. With and again, I let's see what's going on. Okay, just checking. I think the fringe may be dead air. I don't know. Oh, okay. So anyway, so I don't know. Like based on this, again, like looking to the future, do you think this is hopefully not, we're going to find this clown monster thing manifesting in a forest near you? You think it's happening?
I don't think. Don't make it real. Okay, I think if it's going to be in a dream state and the AI puts it into a dream state, I think this is where it's going to all happen. If it's going to manifest into anything, it's going to be a collective manifestation into dreams to create fear, right? And then because your subconscious is stronger than your conscious. It really is. And if you're all dreaming about the same scary fucking clown, the Cthulu clown that's running after people and eating them in the dream and chasing you and hunting you down, I mean, those are all really real earthly fears. You put them in a dream state, you perverse it in ways we can't even imagine, and we're all having nightmares collectively. Right?
Or not. Yeah, collectively. Exactly. Yeah. And then so back to that whole, again, I put the dream walking in here. So collective nightmares, meaning that, like that whole ayahuasca experience, the shamanic journey and that thing, right? There's been some actual experiences where people describe having the exact same visions. So if we're having these collective dreams, is it us sharing our dreams, or is it this thing ubiquitous in everybody's dreams? It's invaded, you know what I mean? It's like an invasive species in our dream world, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point, like it starts to become, how did we get here? How the hell did we get here?
I think it's the latter. I think you're going to have to say that, because people just generally want peace and love and whatever, but if you're going to start feeding other entities, you're going to have to inject something very awful into your dream state collectively to make it happen. I don't know. There's just so much to talk about with regards to this. We can think of every theory on the planet. It's just, at the end of the day, it's all nefarious.
Yes. At the end of the day. Yeah, I don't know. Have you you looking to book a clown for anybody recently?
To shoot, yes. For fun, hell no.
For fun, hell no. How about in South Africa? So up here, they had that situation where they were actually doing literal clowns on the side of the road type shit. Like this was happening. Like it's been several years in a row now. Like kind of late summer, August, September, it starts to get near-ish Halloween, and this shit starts happening. You start seeing like these just bizarre ass clowns just hanging out in weird places with like axes and stuff. Like actually, like you wouldn't expect them to be, but they are. Is that happened down there at all?
No. I mean, I know all about those clowns that, you know, on the side of the road. I mean, I watch all the shit from America, right? But we don't, South Africans don't do that. I mean, it's like
you guys are sick.
We're also not starstruck people. We're like, get the fuck on with life, right? Like, why? It's more entertaining for us to see the scary shit that you guys are going through, right? It's entertainment.
All right.
But we get the fuck on. We really do.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. Hey, look. Hey, that's the way it's got to be. If America's comedy value to the rest of the world, I guess we embrace it. But yeah,
but we still love you guys. We really do. We love you guys so much. So we, like I said previously, we don't watch our own movies and our own programs. We watch American shit because it's so entertaining.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! All right. So again, dreamwalking, androids, Cthulhu clowns.
Hello?
Yeah, you there? Test 1 2. Can you hear me? Did you cut off? Hello? Are you there? Tam Bam, do you cut?
Hello? Sorry.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Signal. Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah. It looks like my signal's taking a shit too. That's all right. It'll internet hiccups, Russian cyber attacks, whatever the hell's going on out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What else you got? What else you got for us? Thanks again for bailing me out.
Oh no, it was more of I have an opinion.
Perfect. That's what this is all about. What about the concept? You got a little bit more time? I got another question or two for you.
Hello. Okay, I'm here.
Let me hold on. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Maybe I can actually change this to. I think I can change the server.
It's a sign.
Yeah, it could be. All right. If that's okay, if you're done, we could be done.
No, I'm never done. I love the show.
Never done.
But if you no.
No, I got things to ask you if you want to hang out a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Okay. What about this idea of dream walking? So we're using it in terms of androids tonight, but we've never actually really talked about the ability of, you know, either through magic or any other means of sort of, I guess you would say, invading other people's dreams, right? Like being able to sort of transcend your own dreams in that dream space and go join somebody else's dream. Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever been able to do this?
I have heard of this. I have heard a story, and I don't know if it was from the show. I'm not too sure, but I have heard a story of a guy who went into a dream state, who was actually astral projecting, and he kind of met someone he knew in the dream, and the dude he knew turned around and said, "What are you doing here?" And then he woke up, and what was James was saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. And then he woke up, and that guy phoned him or met him or something and said, "What were you doing in my dream? Why were you there? You're not supposed to be there."
Right. So invasion of dreams, right? It seems invasive, doesn't it? If somebody can just like walk into my dream and see what's up in my subconscious, that seems like worse than seeing me naked. You know what I'm saying? Eek.
Right. Kind of like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get you into trouble, but it's the R word of your dream.
Okay. Can you elaborate? R, what's the next letter?
A.
R-A, and then?
E.
We're doing Mad Libs. 4 letters, starts with an A.
It's awful. It's horrendous.
Yeah, okay.
Ends with an E. You know,
I see. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That word, the sort of like the soccer player, Rapinoe is her name or something like that.
There we go.
Right. Yeah. So don't say it. All right. Got it. Okay. So okay. Continue, please. Now that I'm with you and I finally caught up.
So it feels kind of like that. I mean, I would never, because in my dreams, listen, I'm not going to, my husband's not here, but I have plenty dream cheated on him, you know, without even me knowing. I wake up and I feel completely happy that I have had a wonderful evening with Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right? And if my husband had to come into my dreams, I swear to fuck, he would divorce me the next day.
Like, hey, no, what are you doing here? This is not your space. This is my space.
Chris Hemsworth and I have done things that are illegal in most countries. So my husband would really divorce me.
Nice. Hey, which guy is that? Is that Thor from the MCU? Which guy is that?
That's fucking Thor.
Okay.
He must bring his hammer and everything.
All right. Bring the hammer. Awesome. Okay, just making sure I don't get I'm terrible with names, so I want to make sure. I was pretty sure it was either Thor or Captain America. Those nice both. Bring them both.
My dreams are crazy. I will lose everything.
Fair enough. I'm glad you have a nice time in your dreams. But the thing is, exactly, like, imagine if you were able to dream walk into that space. If I was like, hey, Tam, what's up? Oh, hey, Thor. What's going on? You'd be like, Michael, hey, Thor, what are you doing here? Get out. Get out. That's hilarious.
I think my husband would turn into Neo and immediately learn how to do Kung Fu.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Whoa, I know Kung Fu. Yeah, totally. Exactly. But I think that's the weirdness of this. And so they say in some terms, right, this dream walking, I was doing a little bit of looking into it tonight, and they say that it's, sometimes you can do this with magic spells. You can actually invasively get into people's dreams, sort of with like a magical crowbar of sorts, right? Like you just like kick the door in and you're like, what's up? I'm here, and you not only that, in a few different ways, in that you can show up in their dream space and change, like alter the dream for them, right? And as like an invisible construct, they don't know you're there. Or you could alternatively show up as yourself and, kind of be bull in a china shop type thing and kind of mess things up personally and be like, hey, I'm here to mess things up. I mean, that's that type of stuff, right? And so that's what got me thinking in terms of this Android stuff. It's like, wait, so if we do share the same dream space and we have these like sick Cthulhu fucks making these killer clowns, like, I'm sorry, Tam, it's possible that you and Thor may be interrupted by a Cthulhu clown one day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anything would interrupt us.
Okay, all right.
I'll make sure of it.
All right. Gotcha. Fair enough. Perfect. No, I got you. I'm with you. Okay, so what else you got for us? Like I said, thank you for bailing me out as always. I appreciate it very much. When I can only say so much about one thing without some other input, and yeah, there you go.
I think it's a fascinating topic. I don't know why more people haven't called in. It's really out of the box. So you really have to think about this one, and you have to kind of do a little bit of research before you can put A and B together. But it's really interesting, and it's really scary because it can become very real. And we got to take into account of the witchcraft of it and the voodoo of it and all these ancient things that can influence you on a subconscious level. Why would it? I mean, this is what scientists do, right? If they can do it, then so can we. How are we going to manipulate dreams? If a witch can do it, then let's create an AI that can do it and see where it takes us, right? So that's what they do. They fuck up everything, and it's very, very real. And it's very, very, it's difficult to understand the reasons why. And it's a perversion. And if they make it true and it really becomes a thing, which I really do think, because it's a subconscious, right? You can influence subconscious. I mean, we can see through dream walking and astral projection, and all those things can be fucking real, and witchcraft is real, and all that stuff. I don't care what anyone says. This is my opinion. It's not hard to believe that an AI can generate a collective dream and put it out there through some kind of radio wave or whatever and make it a fear factor situation. It's scary.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jennifer was saying too, it's like and you were added on to that as well, that like when we have this idea of the human psyche being fragile, and then AI being like, this squishy meat puppet ain't got shit, watch this, right? Like, we can fuck with these people so easily, and they start to realize it starts to become a thing. I'll tell you what, I mean, just watch this video. There's a whole YouTube channel of videos like this, where it's just like video after video of like a minute loop of just horrific shit. Actually, what's it called? The thing is actually called, I'll get you the name of the YouTube channel. Hold on. It's pretty fucking wild. It's like, what in the world? It's called Artificial Nightmares.
Oh, you know, the boredom of some people. I'm like, why, man? Like, why are you going to create extra shit? It's scary. Clowns are scary enough as it is. And then you go and make it like extra.
Double plus good. Double plus good.
No. It's not my friend.
Yeah, no.
Swipe to the left.
Yeah. What else is on here? Let me cruise this real quick. We got clowns. They got bathophobia, lock and key. They got some other weird shit here too. Oh, there's additional clown ones. Wow, there's more clowns. All right, hey, check it out. Check in case you guys don't want to have like extra special nightmares tonight. I got you covered. link in the description.
But the thing is, why did they put that up on a loop? Is there some kind of subliminal message underneath it as well to activate it on your subconscious level that you are guaranteed to have a nightmare tonight about this AI clown weirdness? I'm not going to watch that.
No.
I don't trust.
I will because I'm a sick puppy, and I'm trying to find what tomorrow's show is going to be about. So I'm going to watch some sick shit. Oh, I don't mean I'm with you with Jennifer too. I don't want to. Like, I'm not interested in gore. Like, I like to be scared with scary movies, but I just don't want to see like people butchered. Right? It's like, I think that's another level of sick. It's like can we just skip the butchering people part and like, get to the part where you're about to scare me? Because that was good. that was good.
Yeah, that's like dark webs. I don't do that.
No.
You can scare the shit out of me for sure, but don't dark web me with butchering and stuff.
No. There was an old movie back in the 80s called Faces of Death. It was like, I don't think you could even find it. It was like banned and shit. It was like actually like people dying on right on camera. Yeah, it's like, I never got it. It's like, why do you want to watch that shit? I just, sorry if you like that stuff, whoever's out there listening. I never got it. It was just like, ugh. How did we get here? I never saw it, by the way. I never saw it. It was kind of like one of those schoolyard things where people are always talking about it, like, oh, did you see that? I'm like, no. Like, where do you even get that? What are you talking about?
That's nightmare fuel. I mean, that's just really just. I mean, I'm all for horrors. I'm all for horrors, and I'd make a conscious effort to go watch scary stuff on YouTube, right? But when you're a kid, I mean, if you're a kid and you kind of a bit of a psycho. I mean, you're giving the kid ideas to becoming an adult psycho with all these horrible movies.
Yeah, exactly. What's that Smurfer girl in chat says, I've seen those. My friend and I rented it at the VHS place when we were 14. Faces of Death. What the fuck? They let you, there you go. That's why you're sick. Because they let you rent it when you were 14. That's hilarious. I mean, I don't really mean you're sick. Other than... Sorry, go ahead.
Creepypasta. How do they come up with those ideas of the creepypasta weird shit? Where does it come from? How do they even think that stuff up? Doesn't that boggle you?
Yeah, no. I mean, like everybody likes a good horror story, right? Like if it's done well, all the rest of that stuff. You can skip the gore for me. It's like, you got to put a little bit of blood to make it, real, whatever. But quote real. But at some point, right? Like this is sick becomes sick, and I don't know. Like I'm not. Me, I'm not one for censorship and all the rest of that. I'm not trying to say, all things decent, young people, you should not be watching this. Fucking watch whatever you want. I don't care. It just like to me personally, it's just like I don't want to see real people die. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that stuff. I just don't. I'm not interested. We'll find our way there soon enough. Hopefully, longer than sooner. But I'm not interested in watching other people in that moment. It's just kind of sick. But
we can't. It's like the good guy to win in the end, right?
Yeah.
To defeat the boogeyman. We're talking about is a damn good movie.
Yeah, hell yeah. What's speaking of which, what's your favorite scary movie?
The boogeyman. There was also I forgot the fucking name of the movie where the crow dude in the field. He looks like a scarecrow. And the kids are on the bus, and then they're driving through the field, and then their bus breaks down.
Children of the Corn? Is that what that is? No?
No. And then that scarecrow dude comes every 21 years, I think, and he comes alive, and he...
Oh, shit. What's that called? Now I need to see it.
It's so good, because it gives you such suspense all the time, and even though you know what the thing looks like, it's such suspense. I love it. Oh, what's that movie called? Fuck my life.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers, The Night of the Scarecrow.
Jeepers Creepers.
So Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers. Who said that?
Somebody in the chat, Y Music said Jeepers Creepers. Jennifer wants to know The Night of the Scarecrow. Yeah, I like Jeepers Creepers. I like that. I saw that and I thought it was like, it's fine. It was a little bit corny, but like it was fine. But I think my favorite like modern one that I can think of is that Trick or Treat. I said this around Halloween too. It's like it's got these little monsters, and there's like 4 or 5 different stories on Halloween night where people are kind of trick or treating, and they kind of like cross each other's paths. But there's like this little monster that's like going around just like murdering people and shit, and there's like witchcraft in it. It was good. It was good. It's called Trick or Treat. That's the one that I've seen most recently that I was like, yeah, this is all right. This is cool. Like usually if I sit down and watch a movie, this is why I don't watch movies, by the way. I sit down and I turn it on, and if it doesn't get good instantly, I fall asleep. I'm like, I'm always working. I'm always doing something. I'm like, moving. If my brain kind of gets in that like relaxed state, I'm out. You snap your fingers, I'm out.
Same.
Yeah, so like that the slow builds are good, but it's got to be after I just woke up, so I can't go right back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me a couple beers and put me at the end of the night with a boring movie, because I'll be out. Fucking like 9 seconds, boom, zero to out. Yeah, totally. Yeah, what's up? We got some other in the chat here. Let's see. Smurfer Girl says House of a Thousand Corpses. Y Music says Darkness Falls. Let's see. Driller Killer says Smurfer. What Lies Beneath says James. Yeah, looks like there's a lot of good ones out there. We got to watch. As long as they don't start slow, I'm in. I'm totally in. All right.
What is starting good for you? An immediate murder, and then the rest of the story.
Well, at least how about how they do it when they tell you sort of what happens at the end and the beginning, and then they cut like the critical detail of like what it is,
right.
And then something like that. Like I like when you tell the story kind of backwards and then lead us back to that point to to fill in the details you need. Like that right there gets my attention, right? As long as it doesn't build too slow, I like it. But then, like, if you just chop that part out and build from that beginning without the crazy part, and then I'll fall asleep halfway through because I'm like, oh, somebody gets thrown into a wood chipper. I'm waiting for that. Like, what led up to that? Like, let's find out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I watch trailers before.
Yeah, exactly. And too, they put like the best parts in the trailer. So if you don't like the trailer, you ain't gonna like the movie. That's for damn sure.
And also when you watch a trailer and they tell you the whole movie in one trailer, then I've just watched the movie. Then why bother?
Why bother? I could do a better job than that making the movie. We could, Tim, for sure.
Exactly.
Fucking right. All right. So thank you again for bailing me out. May the dream walking with androids visit you in clown shoes. How about that?
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Good friend.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
No. You got you got Thor to keep you safe. You're fine. You'll be okay.
Damn right I do.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine, Tim. Always a pleasure. We're out of time. Final thoughts. Let's get the hell out of here. I'm gonna go put on a movie and fall asleep.
I'm gonna get my day started. Final thoughts. if you come into my dream and you happen to see me or someone like me, we need a code word. So I'm suggesting like pretzels, and then give me a high five. Then I know it's you, and then you must fuck off because I'm busy with Thor.
Okay, get lost. Okay, I know it's really you. Now get out of here. All right, pretzels and a high five. I got you. Copy that. I'm not trying to do that, by the way. I was just curious if that was a thing. I appreciate that.
I wonder if we can.
I wonder if you can, right? I wonder if you can. If anybody out there knows how to do that, don't you come into my dreams, because I've got a dragon in my dreams. He'll eat your ass. 100%. Tam Bam, you're the best. I appreciate it. Give the family a hug for me, and go kick ass. Go kick ass today. Good morning to you, and thanks for bailing me out again. I appreciate it very much.
Sure.
Right on. Everybody give Tam Bam a follow. Scroll down, a link in the description. She's got an Instagram. She's a entrepreneur and does all kinds of things. So go visit Tam Bam and give her a follow. And actually, do you have anything coming up that you can share? You had some exciting news in the past of maybe some things happening. Can you update anybody, or is that still?
Yeah, I might have another collab with a Palladio International. For makeup, and then working on a few affiliate marketing programs, which is just very boring. It's just fun money. And then what else do I have? Exploring my TikTok a little bit further, so I'm waiting for brand deals to come through, and designing a new course for SEO marketing that I'm going to start selling. It's almost done. It's just a lot of work.
Everything's a lot of work. Kick ass, go get it. If you want to share some of that stuff, let me know. We could again I got to put up a whole webpage, Friends of Troubled Minds, and we could just share the whole thing. But if you got links and stuff you want to sell, you know me. I'm more than happy to help, because you spend your time helping me. I appreciate it very much.
What do I do?
Just send me the information.
No. But how do I help you? I'm just here.
Yeah. You're just here. That's how you help me. You pop in and you tell me your opinion, and we talk about amazing things, and that's a big help. It's a big help. You'll see one day when you do your own radio show, you'll be like, God damn, I'm so grateful of the people that pop in and help.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go. Lazy Guy X in the chat. Tam Bam, you so pretty. There it is. There it is. There's one to make your day as you roll out.
Yeah, Ronald in Rockford also said prettiest girl in South Africa. I'm going to take that and put it in my security bag, so when I'm feeling insecure, I'll whip it out.
All right. I got your whip it out right here.
The dragon?
the dragon in my dreams. Have a great one, Tam Bam. Thank you again for bailing me out. You're the best. We'll talk to you soon.
Sure.
Let's roll it. Let's get the hell out of here. All right, so we got a minute or two left if you want to squeeze in with a call, 702-957-1037. And we got Jack in Oregon. Let's go to, speaking of squeaking in with a call, Jack in Oregon, go right ahead. I got your dragon in your dreams right here, my friend. How are you?
Great.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. I hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Lost my train of thought with you guys' ending there. Yeah, definitely Tam Bam should interview people. She has a great voice.
Agreed, 100%. We all tell her that. We're like, hey, you've got like one of the most like beautifully exotic accents out there, and she's like, nah, little old me. We're like, yes, little old you. Yes, absolutely. There's just some people that have a voice for radio, for sure. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So back to the topic, which was, let me get this, Cthulhu,
clowns,
artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Thirdly, the dreams of artificial intelligence. Was there more than that?
I think that sums it up. We could add dream walking in there, but yeah, you got it. You got it.
Well, firstly, I think like I didn't notice the background on your picture on the thing where it had the actual picture the AI created, but there's a program that does that, and it, like the first time I saw it, like 4 or 5 years ago, it took like a picture of a dog and put it all over like a light post and people's butts and things like that, just like they put the dog face all over the place. It was very surreal. And so what I'm thinking is that it's the surrealness that is the real catch, and actually this, I think it's a program you can, I'm pretty sure you could take a picture of your kids or whatever and then project your children onto just the landscape of something. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of that AI stuff is pretty creepy, right? I mean, they're calling it art, but I mean, you saw the clowns now. You saw what I was talking about now that you looked at the stream, but shit gets weird, right?
My point is that, that was just a very good piece of art done by a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone picked that out, used the AI to make it super trippy, and it's effective. And kudos to that. But you can do that yourself if you tried it. I mean, you just have to take your picture and put it into the AI and warp reality.
Yeah. Hey, what about these warped reality actually invading your dreams for this dream walking? How would you feel about that if these clowns just showed up one night and interrupted you with Thor? If you know what I'm saying. Just using Tam Bam's example.
Well, I do have my limits. At some point I do get afraid. And, however, repeatedly pressing the afraid button is not my thing, but I do love your show, man.
I appreciate it. I literally try my best to put together a compelling conversation every night, but I can only take a little bit of credit because most of the credit goes to all the amazing people that call in and contribute, and yourself included. So thank you for listening. Thanks for being part of it. I appreciate it, bro.
Sorry I missed your last night's show.
That's
Rock
okay.
on, buddy.
It happens, man. You're the best. Jack in Oregon, always a pleasure. Thank you for listening. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night, brother.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. There you go. Phone lines still rolling, still working. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you again. Like I said, I can't tell you enough. And I'll do some extortion and be like, I'm out. I'm gonna go play some video games. Only because if I've exhausted all of my ideas, I need some of your ideas to work with. And if you don't have ideas, it's my fault. So don't take it personally if I'm like, I'm out of here. If you don't have an idea or whatever, it's okay. That's my fault for either making it too convoluted or, not direct enough and kind of setting up the questions. That's my fault, honestly. So don't take it personal. It's just like, hey, like I always say, and it's true, and I mean this 100%. You can't hit a home run every night. You just can't. It's like literally, go back and we've got 500 or 600 shows. So at some point, right, there's going to be some stinkers. It's just gonna, right? It's just the law of averages. I wish that I could be Troubled Minds could be its best every night. It's just statistically not possible, right? You can't always beat yesterday. So it's okay. Like I said, so please don't take it personal if I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm out. I'll just leave and we'll end it and it's okay. Like I said, don't feel like, oh, I should have called and no, it's not like that. It's just like, hey, we'll reframe and we'll come back tomorrow and try again. That's all, and that's what this is all about. So please don't. When I get like that, I'm just like, hey, I need some help, and if there's no help, then we'll cut it. So just to let you know, don't take it personal. It's not like that. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, because embarrassment of riches is what we are. All the amazing calls and all the amazing takes, and thank you for bailing me out night after night after night after night. So that's all. So I don't want to get you to the point where it's like, let's call and make some bullshit up that I'm not interested in. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's okay. We can shut it down and just come back punching tomorrow night, because you know me, I'm not giving up. The whole point is, right, if I was going to give up, I'd have given up in the first year when nobody listened. And that was a tough year. But the vision persists, and we'll come back punching tomorrow. What's up? Smurfer Girl says, dude, your topic was not bad. I had lots of thoughts, but I also had a beer and wasn't going to do that to you. Hey, I got a beer right here. Like, I've had a few. Actually, it's labeled maybe juice, by the way. So there you go. Can I get it without the ones and zeros? Yeah, there we go. The maybe juice. There you go. Anyway, so it's okay. Like I said, please don't take it personal. I'm not like calling anybody out specifically. It's as you go and as you learn, you also learn doing this that every night can't be boom. So there we go. So I'm going to smash the button. Thanks again for hanging out. And there you go. And Carrie Out says, I'm accusing you of being a great host. There it is. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. And like I said, my ego has not suffered one iota. Not one iota. My ego is fully intact. Don't worry. I'll come back punching tomorrow. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this. Let's smash the music and let's get the fuck out of here. I'm not sure if Tam or Daryl has an outro for us. If you guys do, you're more than welcome. Music is rolling.
I do.
All right.
I do.
No, you do. All right. What you got? Wait for the bass to drop.
Okay.
Come on, we got rules here. Hey, we got a standard of operations, SOP, standard operating procedure. There's the bass drop. Go right ahead.
Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. And that's by Steve Morabali.
Nice. I love it. And that's true. That's absolutely true. I cannot deny it. Good stuff. Thank you for being you. Did you hear that, Tam? People love your voice. I love your voice. You should be doing this type of stuff. No, it's not bizarre at all. Like I said, hey, people say they love my voice, and I'm like, it's just my voice. You know, like, thank you. That's nice, but it's just my voice. You know, it's the same. I get it. It's the same for you. Hey, you got a nice voice. Do it. Roll it. Work it. Do it. Do the thing, Tam. Do the thing, Tam. Start doing the thing. See, and we're hearing it. It's a theme over and over and over again. So just so you know, don't be self-conscious.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, get a microphone and go. All right. As we finish, thank you, Tam Bam. Thanks, Daryl. Thanks all the amazing phone calls tonight. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, James. Thanks. Who was the first call? See, that's what happens when I list everybody. I leave somebody out, so I apologize for leaving you out. But let's get the hell out of here. So as we finish, it goes exactly like this, right? If you want to help this show, you know what to do. We got a Patreon. You can sign up for sub up on Twitch, which is if you have an Amazon Prime, it's no additional cost. It's included in your Amazon Prime yearly subscription. You could actually send me $2.49 a month on Twitch. If you have questions on that, ask me, send me an email, troublemindsradio@gmail.com. Also, we have Rockfin. It's a free speech platform. It's based on a blockchain. It pays in crypto. You can send tips. You can sub up on Rockfin and not just get premium Troubled Minds stuff, which is up there and not available on the podcast feed or anywhere else. You can also get the rest of everybody else's premium stuff on Rockfin. Michael Tracy's there. Empire Files with Abby Martin is there. Jimmy Dore is up there. Lots of Sam Tripoli. Lots of incredible people up on Rockfin as well doing premium content. So one $10 a month fee on Rockfin, you get all of it. Everybody's. It's the best value out there. It beats TV, and for sure you spend what, 60, 70, 80 bucks on TV. Anyway, that's how you can help the show. Otherwise, if you like the show but don't want to spend money, just hang out with us live. Come talk to us. Come call me. Come. Just give us your ideas. It's an important thing. The most important thing is spending your time and energy here. And if you want to help, additionally, listen to the podcast feed: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Podcast Addict, whatever. And each time you do, it sends a few cents my way. So it's simple as that. And as it finishes, it goes exactly like this. You want to do it, Tam Bam?
Yeah. Be sure, be strong, be true.
Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours, have a great night. That was perfect. Nice job. Stream ending in 3, 2,